Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome to the stream. I hope everybody is doing well. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Welcome, newcomers. I see we've had a couple of people announce that this is their first time watching a YouTube stream. I will endeavor to make it an enjoyable experience as best I can. Next, he's going to say something crazy like the stream to help it spread. Well, now I don't need to. You've done my job for me. And we've got Hype Master Wendy in the chat anyway, so she'll be checking in and making sure you guys are doing that. She does that job for us. She's a good egg. If it's anything like your normal videos, then it should be fairly entertaining. I hope so. I hope so. I'm actually going to be doing a video on what we're showing today as well. Bit more of a sort of like a more in-depth breakdown, I suppose, of how everything works. But yeah, we're going to be showing off the mods on a video as well, just to sort of like talk through what they do, how we did it, you know. Today is going to be, we're going to be playing some of the Stalker setup on a local test server with Royale with Cheese. I'm sure some of you guys that watch Twitch will know who that is. Royale with Cheese is another PZ content creator who mostly streams on Twitch. He's a really good dude, and it's been a while since we played any games together, so I'm looking forward to sort of introducing him to the setup. But I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend so far. Those of you that are in the US and have just come out of Thanksgiving, I hope that the food was amazing. I hope that you've recovered from your food comas. And I hope that the family was tolerable. All right. We do the thing. Still feeling the effects of the coma? Well, I mean, you're doing it right then, in that case, I suppose. That's how you know you've done it right. Gonna have to change to push to talk. Probably gonna have to check that I'm on the right key for that as well. We'll see. If we get in, we can always change that. Oh, I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of GIFs and videos and stuff like that out there. Third friend for that. We skipped turkey this year, doubled in ham. Good choice. All I'll say is I think there's a reason we eat turkey like once or twice a year. Alright? Just saying. It's not that I'm hating on it. I'll eat it and I'll enjoy it. But I think there's better out there, you know? There's better options. There is. Possibly, Sam. Possibly. I struggle to be entertaining on gameplay videos, honestly. But yeah, hopefully. What are we hating on? Beans pizza? No, turkey. Speaking of dry, tasteless birds, hello, Doug. Thanks, appreciate that. Boom, boom, boom. Best part of the turkey is the legs and the skin. I feel like the same goes for chicken, though. Chicken skin is amazing. What up, Deadly? What up? All right, should we should probably go and say hello to Cheese and get things started. So let's do that. Boom, boom, boom. Let's change screens first so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Right, and I'm just gonna hope that nothing goes back when I press my push to talk. Hello, sir.
Hey, what's up, my friend?
Out. Not much. How was Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was lovely. It was lovely. We had a lovely day, nice meal.
Are you still recovering from a food coma?
A little bit.
Little bit.
It wasn't too bad. My lady's vegetarian, so
Okay.
we don't make like a massive meal. So
I've got some people in chat that are still recovering from food comas, and I feel like they've done it right, you know?
yeah, that's how we would usually do, like make a massive turkey, but with my lady being vegetarian, we just kind of do it small.
Okay.
I like the server rules. They're good. I can get with them.
Oh, have you spawned in already and made your character and stuff?
I did.
Okay.
I don't know if I wasn't supposed to do that.
Okay,
but I can
so
always go back.
Yeah, so if we can, I'm gonna get you to make a duty character. Unless you already picked them by some random chance, but
No. I ended up as a bandit, but yeah, totally no worries.
yeah. So we're gonna because obviously this is a local test server. I've picked sort of like one faction. I've set up the vendors for that faction. And designed and put some zones for us to check out in that area, and yeah, so because we have to do the vendors.
Sense. I had a feeling I might be messing up. I was like, it's probably one of these because I spawned in at the bandit camp, and I was like, this is probably not right, but
you're all good. Don't worry about it. I mean, the base is all set up. It's just the vendors that won't be there. So
the base looked amazing, by the way. We were exploring the bandit camp. It looked really good.
Yeah, Simon's done a really good job with those. The downside and sort of the thing that I don't think we can do anything about really is that like the zombies, obviously you can't stop the zombies from wandering over. And so when we first boot the server up, we have to jump to each of the bases and just sort of remove the zombies in the area. Because otherwise they trash stuff. Yeah. Oh. But the duty place is ready to go. And I'm sort of in my head thinking we'll pop down to see the ecologists as well. Which I've set up a vendor there.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm just trying to die now.
Can you explain what this server is when you start up? Yeah, absolutely. So, right now, this is like a test server. We're going to be launching this setup on our Patreon server on December the 3rd. Basically, what we did was we commissioned and made our own Stalker mods for Project Zomboid. Stalker is a game franchise, if you're not familiar. And we've built things like trading outposts. We built faction HQs. Obviously, as you can see here, you can pick your own faction from the game.
That was a duty I was supposed to create, correct?
Yes, yeah. So if you pick duty, I should probably make my character as well. I'm getting sidetracked talking to people. But yeah, so we'll go through it as we, as we explore a bit more. But yeah, if you've ever seen the Stalker games, the whole idea of this setup is to be very similar, and it brings across a lot of features. Yeah, so each of these classes, I don't know if you had a look through each one as well. I'm not sure if you noticed, but like each faction that you choose has like their own unique stuff.
Yeah, it was very cool. We did a little exploring through, and
yeah,
a lot of my chat that was very Stalker knowledgeable was very excited about the different professions and how they were all Stalker factions.
Yeah. So this one was made by Hia. She's made the occupations mod for us. It just replaces the current ones. And then like every single class sort of has its own unique traits and tropes and whatever that we've tried to sort of keep, I guess, close to the game in some way. My personal favorite is freedom, which is that alcohol has less of an effect on them. When they're drunk, it reduces unhappiness and stress, which I can get behind.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of amazing.
Thunderwolf, and anybody else is looking at joining the Patreon, just a little bit of advice. If you are thinking about joining, and you're only interested in the Stalker stuff, hold off until December 1st, because you will be charged on the 1st of each month. Even if you were to, like, sub today, you will be charged again on the 1st. If you want to play the current wipe, which is Cryogenic Winter, until the 1st, then by all means, you can sub today. You'll get access and you can play and whatever. Yeah, if you're purely interested in Stalker,
like the profession-specific outfits as well.
I would recommend waiting until the 1st. Yeah, so we gave them a couple of, like, unique choices. Sorry, it's taking me a little bit because I've got people asking questions about it on my end as well, but I'm just grabbing my character now. Go in. And I can start walking you around the base and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely, no worry. Take your time, my friend, take your time.
So as you can see, we've got, like, a unique sort of, like, options for clothing as well. We've got, obviously we can't give them, like, full armor customization because they get, like, really overpowered really quickly. But the goal is to have some options available for each faction. What's the logic to basically every Oki having slow healer, prone to illness, and weak stomach? No, I added those, yeah. That was me, yeah. No pay money for a game I already bought. That's completely your choice, Kev. I mean, all the mods that you see today are completely public and downloadable. People can set up their own free servers if they'd like to. I wouldn't ever lock that as such, but for our server, we prefer to have it as a pay entry because I like to avoid stream snipers, trolls, hackers. It gives me a safe environment, gives our community a bit more of a safe environment. And honestly, the way we look at it is it's a bonus for supporting the channel rather than paying to play. You're paying to support the channel and you're getting access to the server as a bonus. But like I say, we'd never push anybody. You know, if you don't want to or you want to download it and make your own server, then by all means, feel free. All right. Let me change the music. Okay, got some 6 months later music. Right, I'm loading in.
Nice.
So, have you already interacted with any of the traders while you've been waiting?
I haven't. I just kind of waited in the middle. I didn't want to touch anything or mess anything up.
So, take a walk. Whereabouts are you right now? Are you?
I'm by some fences and a guy. There's a mannequin here with some cool armor.
You are laying on the ground, dead for me, but not dead.
Oh, that's awkward.
You're moving around, and I can just see your body sort of like teleporting.
Listen, it's a lazy day today, okay? My character has the food coma. I don't really feel like getting up and walking around. We're just gonna slide around.
Do you see my character?
I can restart? I don't see you at all.
Okay, if you restart, because that sounds like if you can't see me, I'm gonna hope that that's on your end.
Are you in admin, maybe invisible or anything?
I am on as admin, yes. So that would be the reason behind that. Turn that off. It's a good call. But hopefully relog fixes the... Wouldn't be Zomboid without some bugs.
Hey, right. So is this going to be like a PvP experience, like between the factions, or?
So good question. On our server, at least, it will be PvE. But
I like that.
All of the mods are like publicly available. So if people wanted to go away and turn it into a PvP server or whatever, then by all means.
Yeah, I personally don't really enjoy the PvP in PZ at this point. So
yeah, me too.
PvE sounds more fun for me.
I've actually, one thing that I'd really like to get working on Project Zomboid, to be honest, and something that we've requested from the devs more than once, is PvP zones. We'd love to be able to zone off areas and then be like PvP when you enter them.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That is, we would maybe implement something like that as well. Sounds good. But you can't really police that unless it's like in the game.
Exactly.
Because otherwise it's going to be like, Jimmy killed me, I wasn't in the zone, and Jimmy's going to be like, no, he was. You know, it's this whole like, you got to babysit the thing, and then that's no fun.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why we'd love to have it as like a sort of an embedded feature. Anyway, let's have a walk around. So, this is Duty HQ. I don't know whether you've seen much from the Stalker games, but Duty are sort of like a paramilitary sort of setup. So they're very regimented. They follow military rules, ranks, that sort of thing. But they're not actually a recognized force themselves. So Simon's tried to build this with a sort of that in mind, which is why we've got like all the green military tents and stuff like that. Just to sort of reflect.
It looks amazing. This looks so good.
He did an amazing job with the design. Come through here. So he's actually designed his own tile sets as well, sort of like the stuff on the desk and on the wall there, like that's all.
Yeah, that looks
like
great,
he's designed
actually.
that himself. I will say that Simon isn't like, he's not a professional map modder, so for him to come in and do this for us basically for free, he's learned how to do it, and has not charged us anything.
How awesome is that? That's great.
He's a really, really good dude to do that for us. So this is one of our traders. Obviously, we've set them up and we've associated them to mannequins. We can add shops to any object in the game that we would like to. Obviously, we don't have NPCs, so that leaves us with mannequins. The problem with the mannequins is you kind of need to right-click on their feet, where their feet are, to interact with them. It's just the mannequin.
I see. That's super cool. That's awesome. So this is like a store. That's really neat.
Yeah, so you open it up, you've got like your store. Obviously we can define like what we want to sell things at. You can see you've got a price there, the name, and then after that is their stock. So that's how many items they have available. And then at the top right there, you'll see that they'll restock every X amount of time, and we can choose how long we want that to be too. So we can also decide whether or not they resell items that players sell them. We can set how much of a percentage they buy that item at compared to its sell price. So for example, all of the weapons in the game, this vendor will buy weapons back at 10% of the value that he sells them at, for example.
Wow, this is super cool.
Yeah.
That's really, really neat.
So you should have started with some money in your wallet, and to access your wallet, if you click on the heart symbol at the left side and then go to info, you should see you have a wallet balance on your like character info page.
I see that. I do see that.
Okay.
Although when I click on the NPC, it says I have nothing in my wallet.
Okay. Really?
No,
does
now
it say
it does.
wallet balance?
Now it does. Oh,
okay.
It changed. Oh, never mind. I had to just open my player character, and now it does.
It might just be sort of like a check that it has to do every so often. Okay, cool. So, the way the wallet works is we can choose whether we let people sort of like pull money from it, or whether we just want it to be existing in the wallet. To avoid sort of like duplications and stuff like that, we have it so you can't remove money from the wallet, but you can actually trade with players. So if I walk up to you, right click you and say trade, you can see at the bottom of the panel there, we've got like a money box now. So I can say, okay, well, I'm going to give you like 500. And we'll just do that. Yeah, you can put in whatever you want and you should see your wallet updates.
Wow, that is super neat. That's a very cool system.
Yeah, so we've got, as part of this trading between players, without the money actually like dropping as an item in the world. Interestingly though, all of the money items that spawn in the world now have a value associated to them. So if you were to go and loot a cash register, you would find maybe like there's $40 in there or something like that. You can throw it in your wallet. And you don't need to, all you need to do is just drag that onto the wallet button on your info panel, and it'll deposit it into your wallet. So what I'm going to suggest for now is I would suggest buying a machete from this guy.
All right, sounds.
So I'm going to come out of the trader and just let you do that. And you should see it appears in your inventory when that's done. If it doesn't, then just let me know. It should.
Nope, it did. Worked perfect.
Okay. To buy a machete as well. So the purpose of this is obviously when a player spawns, they have access to the traders. They've got a starting amount of money, just like in Stalker, and you can decide what you want to do with that money.
Yeah, it's really neat. So instead of like a starting kit, you know, forcing them into something, they have some money and they can make some choices. This is very cool.
Yeah, exactly. So you could, if you wanted, we could have chosen to buy a Makarov and some ammo and one mag, and we would have had, I think, about 200 left if we wanted to. Or we could have chosen, instead of a weapon, to get like an echo detector for hunting artifacts or something like that. So I'm going to show you that, and for the purpose of today, I'm probably just going to give you some items. But if you open this guy, you can see that we've got like the full set of like different armors, and an exoskeleton, different gas masks, helmets, stuff like that. This comes from the Stalker armor pack. So we didn't have this developed, but what we did do was we had another, so we have like an adjustment mod that stops these items from spawning out in the world. So they have to be purchased from the traders. So it's a sort of a progression thing for people to come and work towards. And all of the items that have a gas mask associated, like all of the helmets, they now also have gas mask filters that work and will reduce in like duration as you use them. So you would buy a gas mask, you would attach a filter to it, and when you walk into a radiation zone, your gas mask filter will start to be used.
Wow, that is super awesome. So a question from my chat. Are there going to be anomalies?
So there aren't right now. We've added the radiation zones to sort of try and add an aspect of that. The problem with the anomalies is that we have to find somebody who is able to graphically sort of design a moving anomaly, which is quite a difficult thing to do in PZ. But it would be absolutely something that I'd love to add. If we can put anomalies in the game, I would love to do that. Yeah, definitely not out of the question.
So maybe at a later date, but not right now.
Not right now, not at the moment. But we do have radiation zones, and that's where you find artifacts. So in order to find the artifacts, you need to have an echo detector on your person. And obviously to survive the radiation zone, you're going to need a gas mask and a filter. The cool thing about that, and we'll try that out here in a little bit, is the artifacts are part of the foraging system in the game. So just like every other item in the game, I don't know how familiar everybody is with foraging, but whatever biome you're in, the artifacts will have a different spawn chance depending on where you're at.
Neat.
So if you're in a grassland,
so you go into the radiation zone and then you start foraging around and trying to find it.
Yeah, exactly. So you have a chance of finding artifacts in radiation zones if you're foraging. But if it's in a road compared to a forest, you're likely to find different artifacts depending on where you are.
That is very cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, so and us as the admins, we can place those radiation zones ourselves. They're manually placed by admins. We can choose where we want to put them. On our server, we usually put a pretty big radiation zone around like the military loot areas as well, to create a bit of a barrier. But yeah, so it's
that's awesome. That is really, really exciting. We got a bunch of Stalker fans excited in my chat.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spawn us a couple of gas masks with a couple of filters and an echo detector each, so we can go and try that out when we get going. So let's do the CS.
Is this the vanilla map?
Yeah, so this is the vanilla map, and we have certain map mods in play like Raven Creek and Blackwood and stuff like that. But each of these HQ locations, the first time we ran the Stalker wipe, these HQ locations were done by hand using the in-game tools. This time, Simon has drawn up every single one as a map mod so they can be downloaded and plugged in.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice.
I would love to use like a dedicated Stalker map, but unfortunately just sort of like the ones that are being developed right now aren't really finished. And okay, so you've got a gas mask there with one filter. That mask already has a filter in it as well.
Perfect.
Spawn a detector.
Now, question: if I wear this now, does it start reducing the filter, or only if you're in the radiation?
Only if you're in the radiation zone.
Okay, so I can throw it on.
Yeah. So you can wear it. That's no problem. And there's an echo detector there on the floor for you. There's also a Geiger counter item in game that will make you aware that you're in one. But thankfully as well, we also do have the oh, we should buy some food and water before we go. We do also have like a visual effect as well. So when you walk into a radiation zone, your screen like goes all green and cloudy and stuff to show that you're in it. So it's pretty cool. See that soon.
This is really neat, Duck. You're getting me hyped, my friend.
So if you open the cook as well, Stalker fans will notice that there's a lot of items in here that are from the game. So all of these food and drink items are all from the game as well. I'm gonna go ahead and buy a bottle of water and a diet sausage. But yeah, we've got like the energy drinks, the vodkas, tourist delights, beef tashonkers, packs of old meat, you know, and we've diversified the cigarettes into like 4 different types, and then there's also cigars as well. So just little things from the game.
Very, very, very.
Do we need to manage radiation, or is that not in yet? I would love to have that.
So we have questions from my chat about the server opening, which I believe you said December 3rd.
Yes, yeah, that's correct.
How would people go about joining the server if they were interested in playing?
Okay, so if people are interested in playing, they can come over to the stream right now, and there is a link in the description of the stream to my Patreon, or I can shoot you a link to the Patreon if you like, and you can just post that or whatever.
Yeah, if you want to do that, go ahead and send me the link and I'll post it for any.
I will say as a disclaimer to everybody that Patreon charges on the 1st of the month every month, so if they're only interested in the Stalker wipe, I recommend holding off until the 1st, otherwise you're going to get charged twice. Send that to Cheese real quick. Okay, I've sent that to you on Discord. But like I say, you know, if people want to make their own sort of like free servers, public or whatever, they're absolutely welcome to do so. There's obviously just a little bit of setup involved with the vendors and the radiation zones. Thank you for all the subs, guys. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I'm not like being as attentive to chat today. Obviously, I'm trying to sort of like explain the mechanics and stuff, but it's by choice, Thunder. The only reason why we have it charged on the 1st of the month is so that we don't have to track everybody's individual memberships, if that makes sense. Patreon's bot is not great at keeping up with who is subscribed and who isn't. So it basically means that after the 1st of the month, we only need to do like 1 check of who's subscribed. Does that make sense? That's, yeah, so that we know who's not got access anymore and stuff like that. But I totally understand, yeah. Otherwise, we'd be trying to figure out like 300 plus patrons every day. Yeah, so duty's located just outside of Louisville. So this is going to be interesting to see how many zombies are up here. But what we've tried to do is we've tried to put the faction locations sort of in scattered around the map, if you like. So none are really like that close to each other. And every faction, obviously, you get the same, the different spawn points for that faction. The cool thing about that as well last time was when we launched the server. It's like, have you ever played an MMO on launch day? When like everybody's at the start location all together.
Yes,
that happened last time we ran this. It was a lot of fun. Like, you logged in and everybody was like at the traders outpost all at the same time. So that was a lot of fun. What up, Rug?
So we have a question from chat. Where is the server going to be hosted? A person is thinking about doing the Drake membership, but their buddy is from Colombia, so they're wondering about paying.
Yeah, good question. So the server's hosted in the UK. That said, we do have people from pretty much all over the world that join. I mean, we've got people in the US that play just fine. So I would think their friend would be all right.
What's your ping limit?
We don't have a ping limit. We just let it ride. It's at as high as it will go, basically, so people don't get kicked.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm hoping, yeah. So if we keep going, I've put down a couple of radiation zones, sort of like relatively close by. Yeah, so I got people saying that like they play from like Phoenix in Arizona, and that runs just fine for them. We've actually done a cryogenic winter wipe this month. That's been difficult for a lot of people. I think people will appreciate the people that have been playing that will appreciate that this isn't so tough, I guess, to get going.
And their eyeballs can recover from the permanent blindness.
Yeah,
cryogenic winter.
And I did feel sorry for the people that played cryogenic winter when the time of year got round to winter as well, and they were just joining at that point. That was rough.
Yeah, that is. Mm-hmm.
Super winter zombie killers. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because like everybody's gonna have that like super difficult experience behind them. So I will talk about something briefly that we had in last time. So we actually had and I'm going to be doing a video on this too, that's just going to sort of like break down every single mod, what it does and whatever. We actually had a quest mod. I don't know if you've seen the quest system mod by OneLine.
Yeah, the one that adds the like little NPC guys and you can do your custom quests and stuff. Yeah, I've seen that.
So what we had was we actually had it set so that we had quests at the traders that you could pick up and do on a daily basis, which we really, really liked and we really wanted in the game because, you know, Stalker has quests, and it gave people a way to make money. Unfortunately, we came up against a major bug last time we ran this, which was basically that after you've done the first quest, they would never give you another one. They'd say come back tomorrow, and it would always say come back tomorrow. Problem being with this is that OneLine made it's made on his own language. Like, he basically designed his own language for it, and it runs on that. And we haven't been able to get him to fix it. So for that reason, we aren't running it this time because we just cannot get it fixed.
That's too bad. I was actually thinking about that mod when you were talking about the NPCs.
It's such a shame
how you could make any clickable the store. I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool with that mod.
Yeah, it's such a shame because it worked. Like it worked. Other than that, it worked perfectly. It just would not give you another quest, and fortunately, like he just has no interest in fixing it. So we're looking into alternatives at the minute. I'd really like to get quests up and running. Hopefully in the future we can get something in. Until then, we'll have to wait and see. Now, one thing I should mention as well is that any piece of jewelry, if you want to pick those up, you can sell those to the vendor. the gear vendors.
Ooh,
they will buy jewelry. You might also find patches on zombies from other factions.
That was going to be my next question. I just found an ecologist patch.
Yeah, so you can sell them just the same as you can sell jewelry. And of course, you can wear them stuff as well on gear. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed out about that, Wendy. I would really like to get the quests running, but it's just one of those things, unfortunately, that, you know, if the modder has no real interest in fixing it, we've kind of beat our head against a wall over that already for a long time, and yeah, it's just not, a resolution doesn't look like it's going to be found. So yes, Chaz, yeah, we're gonna make the goal is to make everything a bit more difficult than last time. We're also not gonna have any money glitches this time. You know, like last time we had like some money duping and stuff. We've basically got around that by like players can't withdraw money from their wallets now. They can trade it between players, but you cannot pull it out of the wallet. It is not possible. There's a watch here if you want to pick that up. Got one already. Shame on those money dupers. Yeah, it was a sad state of affairs, unfortunately, but, you know, it happens. Okay, so I think over this way we should have a radiation zone. And you'll see when we walk into it that, well, you'll know. You'll know when we walk into it.
All right, nice.
Thank you for the sub, Tiki God. Appreciate that. And, yeah, big thank you to everybody that's liked the stream so far. I do appreciate it. You see these zombies are spawning with, like, patches on them and stuff every so often. So we're going to keep going, and there should be... See where we're at. Should be just about to sort of cross into it. Here we are.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're in a radiation zone now, and you will notice that your gas mask has a filter at the bottom of it on the panel, and the durability is going to start going down. So I can just see it sort of slowly ticking down on my screen. And what we do when we're in these zones is you basically just start to forage. Just enable the search mode. Now there's no guarantee that we're going to find any, because obviously our foraging skill is a lot lower. But obviously as your foraging skill gets better, or if you choose to start with a higher foraging skill, then you will have a better chance of finding them.
Oh, okay, so it is based on your higher foraging level, greater chance of finding them.
Yeah, it's directly scaled.
That system, that's really neat.
It's all directly scaled with that. The ecologists also have like an increased chance to find artifacts as part of their class, because it's sort of what the ecologists do. So there are unique little benefits to each class, and also there's little changes that to like their vendors as well, that people from the Stalker games will probably sort of like recognize why we've done it. Like, for example, the ecologists will buy artifacts at a higher rate than anyone else, because they have the most interest in them, for example. We have a PDA. It's just an item mod. We didn't commission this.
Is that the purpose of the artifacts? Are they just super valuable items?
Yeah, so right now they are just there to be sold. I would love to do, like, I would love to find somebody that would do, like, a crafting sort of setup with them. You know, like, we can plug them into armors for different benefits or that sort of thing. The problem with that, I think, is that I would love to get that in with, like, I'd like to include anomalies. I'd like to include, like, a radiation effect that can be sort of, like, reduced with different items. The problem sort of becomes that as soon as you bring artifacts into crafting, you kind of need to have all of the associated systems from Stalker to support that. So, you know, right now, like, there's no real, like, risk of burn damage or anything like that from from various anomalies. Or, you know, there's no risk of electrical shock or psychic damage or anything like that, which the artifacts all prevent that in the game. So we kind of need to figure out how to do that as well.
Right, that makes sense.
But I would absolutely like to. It's something that I'd really like to figure out. It's just a matter of finding the people to do it, and also having, obviously, the funds to make it all possible. And no worries, Thunderwolf. We didn't make this, we commissioned it. So I essentially hired modders to make what you're seeing at the moment. So the radiation zones is from Soul Filter. The traders are from Chuckleberry Finn. Shark did our artifacts and food items. Simon, who I've just seen in chat. What's up, Simon? How you doing, mate? Simon is the wonderful person, part of our community, that designed all of the faction HQs from scratch. Yeah, so I'm hopefully going to be uploading a video on this within the next, like, sort of day or two that will talk about, like, what all the mods do, how we made it possible, that sort of thing. You found anything just yet?
Nothing amazing. I've gotten some grasshoppers, a thing of duct tape.
Sure. I found a lot of foraging finds, but no artifacts, sadly. Hoping we can find one whilst we're playing, but if we can't, it's not a big deal. Just to show that the actual feature is working, and I know it is working because we've tried this before, and you know it was all working last time. We do also have anomalous storms. I should mention, we don't have... So whilst we don't have anomalies, we do have like a storm event. Here we go. I've just found one. There we go.
Hey, nice.
So I've just found a phantom star. Yeah, so whilst we don't have anomalies, we do have an anomalous storm. And when that starts, the sky sort of like goes like a red hue, and you have to seek shelter indoors. Otherwise, you start to get burns all over your body and stuff.
Oh my god, that's amazing! How cool is that?
Yeah, and we can set the duration of the storms, like how often they occur, stuff like that. So I think we have it set to occur between 3 and 4 days, and they're only an hour long, like in-game time. So it's not too bad. You don't have to hunker down for like ages. Alright, so I can show you the artifact I found here just so you can see it as well. But each of them have like different models that Shark has designed for us. So that's a phantom star.
Oh, that's really cool.
Spawn a couple more in. So let's do a crystal thorn, have an eye, sort of thing. And then we've got a couple more that I've just spawned. So we've got an eye and a crystal thorn there as well. So
yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, so these will all sell for cash basically, and we can define like how much they sell for. If you want to hold on to that phantom star, and we'll get out of here. But we can define how much they sell for. So you can make sort of like the rarer ones sell for a bit more.
So a couple questions about the storm from chat. Does it normal rain after the storm? And is that predictable from like the, is it connected to the emergency broadcast, or is it?
That's a good question, actually. No, it's not connected to the emergency broadcast. It's random. You won't know when it's coming. Although, I like that idea, because that is actually a thing in the Stalker games. It's sort of, you get a bit of a heads up from like a radio channel. So, potentially, we could look at that. I don't know. I'd have to speak to Soul, who is actually in my chat right now, so if we could answer that. And what was the other question? Sorry. Was it? Does it like normal rain?
I guess it's a stalker thing. Does it normal rain after the anomaly storm? I don't know. I assume that happens in stalker.
Good question. I don't necessarily have an answer. There is rain before and after, Soul has just told me. So, there you go. And Soul Filter is the guy that made that mod. So, if anybody is gonna know, it would be him. Rains before and after. The PDA has no purpose at the moment. It is just a sort of
for
like
now,
a
if it starts
callback.
to rain, you better make it so you're adjacent to some sort of inside, just in case.
Yeah, it's sort of the best thing to do is if it does start to rain, just make sure you're close to a building. But yeah, reddish sky means that a storm is coming, basically. So you do get a bit of a indicator. Oh, I forgot as well. I can put my HUD up on this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is some really cool items in the Stalker armor pack, I'm not gonna lie. The guy that made that did a fantastic job. So there is another like sort of like outpost that we can make our way down to. It is on the other side of Louisville, so if we don't like get there, we can sort of like just teleport over there and have a look.
All right, sounds good.
But yeah, I think that covers most of the major features. I think, to be honest, what I've really liked seeing from players is it adds a bit of a progression arc to the game. Like, you can't just go and find whatever you need. And we've increased that this time round by implementing a weapon condition mod, which Soul Filter has also made for us, which basically allows us to set the weapon condition of any weapon that's found in the world. So for our server, it's going to be between 0 and 60% condition. And what that means is that you're never going to find a weapon that's a pristine condition in the world, like a gun, at least. But if you buy them from the trader, or if you buy a repair kit from the trader, you can either maintain them or just get a fresh one. So again, it adds like that progression to the game, like being able to buy like different stuff and your different armor pieces and your mask and whatever else.
So do you feel like this extends like the multiplayer experience?
I do.
So as somebody that runs multiplayer servers, I find that they're really fun and excited in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, a couple weeks in, they kind of peter off, and then like about a month in, nobody cares anymore, and everybody's given up.
Yeah, which is why we usually wipe once a month. There's one behind you, just heads up. We usually wipe our server once a month. And we still did that for the Stalker setup, but we definitely had people playing for longer. And I think that's probably down to that like progression arc. Because you've always got something to do. Always got something to aim for. It might just be like acquiring a new gun. But, you know, whatever it is, you've got goals.
Our vehicles are usable?
Yeah, vehicles are all usable. We are running the worst vehicle conditions on ours. Obviously, that's completely optional if people wanted to use that or not.
So a bit of a struggle to get vehicles, but
exactly,
they are available. Yeah. If you can get a working one, you can use it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Have you used the expanded hotwire mod before?
Yes, I have on Clean Server. Yeah.
So for us, what that means is the hotwire, you need like level 1 electrical and 2 mechanics to hotwire a vehicle. It's not offered. Obviously, we don't have the burglar occupation, so that's not a thing.
You gotta earn it.
Exactly, and you can make keys for vehicles too if you level up like your mechanics and metalworking and stuff enough. Make keys too. So,
do you know what those levels are off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, I think it's level 5 metalworking, 4 mechanics. And the same electrical skill, I think. But you can change all that, you can set it yourself, so.
Yeah, that's a set it.
Sorry, chat. If I've missed any questions, feel free just to put them in again. I'll try and keep up where I am.
We both left that for the other guy.
Yeah, so I was like looking at my chat, seeing if I missed any questions. We do have it in right now, Sol. Yes, and we're gonna be sort of like I'll go to a weapons shop and see if it's working.
How about regular loot? You know, what are the loot settings, or is everything from the traders?
So at the moment, we've got loot set to extremely rare, other than the weapons and ammunition, which is incredibly rare. Or insanely rare. I don't remember what they called it, but yeah, everything else is extremely rare. And we have started, I think it's a month after the apocalypse, so most of the food's going to be rotten. How do safe houses work? Can someone raid or loot my house while I'm offline? No, we're on a PvE server, so safe house protection is a thing. You know, like if again, our server is completely PvE. If people want to make a PvP server, they can, with the mods. But yeah, ours is PvE, and no stealing or anything like that is allowed. Yeah, our community has kind of been like built around PvE setups.
Another chat question here.
Uh-huh.
Do the different factions have different like for sale items?
Yes.
So like the what is he? So as in ecologists don't have machetes, or they have different things.
Okay, so it's a really good question, and I know why they're asking that. The ecologists don't sell weapons at all, which again is the same as Stalker. They don't sell weapons. However, if you were to go to, say, the bandits, they would sell different firearms to what you would find at the mercenaries, for example. The mercenaries are going to have like a lot more sort of like Western-based weaponry. They might cost more as well. And the bandits are going to have like more things like, I don't know, like Mosins and double-barrel shotguns and stuff like that, more like sort of like old tech. So yeah, we have taken that into account. And that's the beauty of the Traders mod, is that you can customize it exactly how you want.
And that's really awesome that it's that way. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, no anomalies. We would like to... the gloves on this guy if you want them. We would like to in the future, if anybody that's watching this knows a modder or is capable of doing that themselves, by all means, get in touch. But it has the storm, yeah. It has the anomalous storm, yeah. How can I join the server? So our server is linked to the Patreon. This server will be launching the Stalker wipe on the 3rd of December. Yep, go for it.
So say you are, you know, we started as duty. Would I be able to make my way to one of the other camps and still purchase from them, or
yes,
like is that available?
Yeah, so in our setup, because it's a PvE server, you can go to any trading outpost and purchase from any trader. Again, I guess if you wanted to change that for a PvP server, the functionality to block a trader isn't available right now. But I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be able to link it to like occupations if there was a demand for it. You could probably link it to like whatever occupation you started as. But yeah, right now, because on our server it's PvE, you can go to any other outpost and trade with anyone.
Nice. So you're not limited to your own starting gear, as long as you're able to make it to the other camp.
Yeah, I guess just in the interest of like, I know PZ players like to like acquire like different clothing items and stuff like that. So you could go to like, you know, if you wanted to, you could go and walk down to like the Freedom HQ and buy their gear instead if you like how that looks a bit more. What up, Chris? Thank you for resubbing. I haven't used it.
Wait, your bigger stickers? Here's of this. Wait! Take him away! Oh, sir. No, I want him fighting rabid wild animals within a week. Yes, sir. Follow you.
Yeah, so the 10 years later, that's just sort of like how the world looks. It doesn't actually affect the time. It just affects how the world looks. So we're 1 month in. What up, Carly? Howdy. Yeah, so the server's linked to our Patreon, Toasty. Anyone with a Patreon subscription gets access to the server. Right now we're running a cryogenic winter wipe, but this Stalker setup will launch on the 3rd of December. If anybody is looking at this thinking they want to give the Patreon a go, I would recommend waiting until the 1st of the month, because you will be charged on the 1st. That's the disclaimer.
All right, I got another chat question. If you are, say, new to the server, is there any map or type of information as to where the other faction bases are located?
Okay, so it's a good question. We do have sort of like an infographic that we've made and put on our Discord for that, for anybody with access to the server, so they can at least see like where the HQ is. And we have the location sort of like pinned and stuff as well. The only one that we don't have with public knowledge is Monolith. Monolith is just as a little like, you know, extra thing that we like to do. We don't tell people where Monolith's HQ is. So it's up to the players whether they want to divulge that information or not. Because Monolith are naturally the bad guys from Stalker.
Ah, I see. That makes sense.
So they do have a base, but you know, nobody has to tell them where it is if they don't want to. It's a nice little extra thing. It did change from last wipe, yes. It did. And I think you guys are gonna really like it as well. It's I would say it's a lot more fitting than the last one. Okay, so just gonna unhide my map. We've got quite a way to go. This car's running.
There's a key in that other one, but there's no gas.
The last one was at Raven Creek last time, but we've moved the location.
So if you see a gas can, we could probably make something happen.
Okay.
I got a gas can, right?
I can make that happen. The cool thing as well with the Clear Sky faction, we actually gave them a mechanic as a vendor. Just because like there isn't one in the Stalker games. There's no real like cars or anything like that. So we wanted to find a vendor that had like mechanic stuff, and Clear Sky seemed like the best choice for that. So they actually have a mechanic shop that you can stop in at as well to buy different parts or the stuff you need to get cars running. Right, let me get us a gas can and we'll get.
Oh, I found a gas can. I got one.
Oh, you found one?
Yeah, there was one in the back of one of the trunks. Now I just need to find a car that actually has gas.
Oh. I promise I didn't set that up. That was literally like completely random. That was nothing to do with me.
Oh, I got gas here too. There's gas in this car. We're good to go, buddy.
Amazing. I'll sit in the passenger seat and give directions. The gas mask from the Survivor worked the same.
About the jamming chances
no,
and stuff
I don't think so.
Guns.
Yeah.
So like, if you have like a 60% gun you find in the world, is it gonna jam all the times?
So we haven't altered it from the base game in that respect. So yes, it will jam, which is sort of the idea. The weapons you find out in the world will jam if their condition is lower, which they will be because of the mod we're running, which is the point. But you can go to a trader and buy... Oh, it's that one, okay. You can go to a trader and buy a weapon repair kit at any point. Or you can just buy a fresh one.
Right, you could just... And you could take that gun, sell it, and
exactly.
buy a new one.
Yep.
And the ones you buy, they're all at 100% condition?
Yes, correct. And interesting fact as well about the vendors is they won't buy a weapon that is under a certain amount of condition as well. So you can't just go and find the weapons and then sell them. They have to be over, I think it's over 50%. So they have to be above 50 to be able to sell. Which again is similar to Stalker. You can't sell things that are like shoddy condition. Yeah, we haven't had a public server in over a year, I think. So if we follow this road just to the end, and then when we get to, there'll be a big intersection onto the main road. We'll take a left when we hit that. Bet players won't have an edge on finding it first. No, but I mean, Monolith players spawn there, right? It's just a little fun little thing we like to do, just to say, like, you know, if you don't want to tell other players where Monolith is.
Left being this way?
Yes, yeah. Like, if you don't want to tell them, then you don't have to. Do you know where the, you know, like the little power substation is outside of Louisville?
Yes.
Okay, I'll direct us. Just keep going for now. Follow this road all the way to the end. I don't think the ones from Undead Survival work, Marquis, no. So we've specifically got them to work with the Stalker armor pack. But again, just in case that person's worried about the jamming rates of weapons, again, if you wanted to run that on your own server, that mod is customizable in the sandbox settings. So you can set how low the condition is. No reputation system, Justin, no. It would be cool though. Maybe a way we could develop the traders a bit more. Okay, so once we get up here, you're going to take a left at the end of the road again. So we're going out to the Ecologists HQ at the moment. When we get to, there should be a road that leads off to the right. Up ahead, it's quite a way. When we reach that, we're going to take that and follow it all the way to the end. We'll end up at the military checkpoint, which will give us a good chance to loot around and see if the weapon condition mod is working.
All right, nice.
That one was finished literally like yesterday, so the new edition. Enough likes equals better
this
deals.
Road here, or keep going? This road here goes to the military checkpoint, right?
Let me have a look. Yeah, this is the one. Better deals. Confused. Good. Oh, well. Oh, right. I get what you mean. Yeah.
Another question from chat.
Mm-hmm.
Does the PDA act as a true music cassette player?
It doesn't.
I'm guessing no.
No. The PDA wasn't something we commissioned or built. It was just an existing mod with the PDA item that we thought, you know, it'd be a nice sort of like fallback to the games, just to have people spawn with one. I would love to, in the future, I would love to get it made up as like a map item, personally. With a little like HUD over the map, you know, just to change that a little bit. I think that would be where I'd love to see it, personally. Let's loot the checkpoint, see if we can find any weapons. Just want to see if they're spawning in low condition or not. Although that said, you know, they're using the new insanely rare setting, so I don't know how bad that is. I don't think really anybody knows how bad that is yet.
I've heard it's pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, we can have a look around one of the gun stores later and see how. Alright, we've got a magazine. Aviators. Hell yeah. And a beret. Amazing.
Is it a raspberry beret?
It's not. It's a black one. Yes, it's bad. That is kind of the purpose. That is kind of the idea. We do want weapons to be incredibly rare. We'll just have to see like how bad that is. It's like, again, the whole purpose is using the traders for that, right? There's item respawning in PvE. Are players allowed to close off an area and call it their base or faction? We have sort of like basing rules, Justin. So the rule on the server is basically not to claim anywhere that's considered a major loot location. For example, like let's say a military base, right? Can't claim that. It's not something you can.
There was just a gas mask in this.
Yeah, I found a magazine in the other one.
Do the vanilla gas masks actually function as well?
I believe the vanilla gas masks, if I remember correctly, I think they are replaced by one of the gas masks we're using. So they don't spawn. Or they can be converted.
I got one here. Got one here.
Can you right click it and convert it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, so they don't work, but you can convert them to a Stalker one. That will work.
Gotcha. I missed that at first. The convert. I saw a make back attachable on it.
Yeah. So take a left up here. Let's go through the checkpoint and take a left. No multi-hit. Nope. The monsters, the zombies are exactly the same, John. And that's the exit we want there. Sorry. It's not actually on the map for some reason. This is actually in the vanilla game too, and you notice like they haven't drawn the road on at all. This is all in vanilla.
Sneaky.
But it's not here. So this is the ecologists. There is a substation here in the vanilla version of the game. But what we've done is we've kind of, or what Simon has done rather, is he's like taken it and sort of retrofitted it. So you can see like we've got like tents over here. So I've only set up the one vendor here today for the purposes of our testing, but let's see. He's set up sort of like an entire, their living quarters and stuff.
Yeah, this is very.
I need a flashlight.
Yeah, same. It's super dark.
Let me drop torch or flashlight. Take one of those. Just dropped it in the bookcase by mistake, but you want to grab one of those. Yeah, so again, he's sort of designed each one differently. They all have their own styles. This is just their living quarters, and then further down we've got a big tent and stuff. If someone claimed it would have killed our little community. Yeah, and that's the thing, is we have like a very good system, sort of like where if somebody does that, then it'll get reported and then we'll... So most of the time it's just that people don't know. But yeah, we do sort of keep an eye on that stuff. He's built a little kitchen area, and then further down the way, these are all like med bays in these. Each one is sort of like a different medical area. And then right down the end here is where I've put our medical vendor. Now, I've set this guy up so that he will buy artifacts. So, that artifact that you have in your inventory, you'll need to drag it to your direct inventory. And then if you put it in, hit the left panel on the store, he should give you like an offer for it.
Says I only sell these.
Let me... Been me set that up wrong. Yeah, I have. 1 second. Artifacts is category 10k 100. Okay, so I've just changed that. Give it a go now. My mistake.
So I have another question from chat. Mentioned Clear Sky having mechanics. Are there buyable car parts anywhere?
Yes, yeah. So the Clear Sky vendor will sell car parts. He also sells the tools you need to work on cars. I'm not sure yet whether we're going to allow like the purchase of everything. But the idea is that yeah, if you want to fix up your car, you go and see Clear Sky and you can buy the parts.
Very cool. Very cool.
That allow you to sell those just fine?
It did, yes. I couldn't sell my patches, but I did sell my
yeah,
my
so the patches, you would take those to a gear vendor to sell them.
Gotcha.
We don't have a gear vendor set up here right now, but you know, like in the real game, you'd be able to do that. Again, it's just because we're on a test server today, and setting all of those up is a bit of a pain, but
yeah, I totally understand. I wasn't sure if like everybody bought all the things or how.
Yeah, so it's different. So basically, it goes by sort of like common sense as to like what they sell, they're likely to buy. So any medical items, you know, the medics would buy them. Food and water, the cooks would buy or sell them, stuff like that. We haven't bought any weapons. I'm sure we can. That's no problem. So what we can do now is I'm gonna sort of teleport. I guess we've got the car. Okay, let's drive to the hunting store. Like that's not far from here.
Yeah, the one by the gas station.
Yeah,
let's pass it on the way here.
Yeah, let's drive up there and we'll go and loot that and have a look around, see if there's any stuff we can use. And then I think what we're going to do is we're going to go and buy a weapon from vendors at the Duke HQ. Which side am I on? Side. New Akron be in this wipe?
Does it upset you that the car's
yeah.
on the wrong side?
It always confuses me. I always go to get in on the wrong side of the vehicle.
I play with my British friend that I play with is always trying to get in on the wrong side.
Does PC separate texture / visual mods from gameplay affecting mods? Because basically to play on the server, you're restricted to just the mods the server runs. I'm confused. Basically, to play on the server, are you restricted to just the mods the server runs? Yes. In order, because it wouldn't let you play if you had extra mods, with the exception, I think, of audio changing mods. It is set on a timer, Justin, but we don't share how long that is, because we want it to be a more realistic experience. We don't want people to say, oh, okay, it's been 6 hours, I'm going to run down to the nearest shop. Okay. So it's a left on the main.
Yep, I know where I am now. I gotcha.
Is there any questions you had about like the setup so far?
No, not so far. I mean, some of the questions I've been mixing in have been from me, and some have been from chat. So
I think the biggest thing that I'd really like to get in is the quests again. Because you know, it's sort of a bummer that we didn't get what we wanted there. Especially since it's like, it feels like it's so close to being finished. I would really like to get the quests back in. And
what about the idea of like admin resetting it each day or something?
We can't. As much as I would love to, it's bound to each player's like Steam ID, I believe. So it's like bound to each character. So even if we reset the vendors, it doesn't do that. It's literally
I see.
It's such a pain because the only person that can fix it is the person we commissioned it from. And yeah, they just don't have an interest, so. Huh. I've even asked other people to take a look at it, and because he built it on his own language, it's sort of like they like even other modders can't do anything about it. So let me spawn a sledgehammer just so we can break in.
All right, a question from chat. Does the Clear Sky have a pseudo dog pet?
No, they don't. Although I would love that. That would be cool. I would love to do that. We don't have any, like, I guess, non-human NPCs in. I would love, when they come out with the animal update, I would love to commission, like, a modder to do mutants. I think that would add so much. But right now, it's, like, it's not that I don't think anybody could do it. I'm sure that there would be, like, maybe 1 or 2 people that could make it happen. But it sort of feels like, what's the point in adding mutants when we've got animals on the way, right? It's going to be much easier and much more fluid and streamlined once the animals actually come in.
Yeah, of course, for sure.
Let's have a look. Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. So this is real rare, huh? Okay, we got a revolver.
Oh, there's a gun here.
Yeah. What condition is it at?
35%, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's how it should be. There is a gun cleaning kit here, though. So I don't know if you need any extra knowledge to use that. That would be a good test, actually, if you want to have a look and see if you can repair it. The gun cleaning kit. This is kind of how I want it to be, though. This is about right. And you can sell boxes of ammo back to the traders and stuff as well.
Okay, so in order to use the kit that I have, you need aiming 2, which I do not.
Really? Okay, that's interesting. Okay. We might change that. Don't know if that's going to be possible. Might change that, because I feel like that would be an unnecessary barrier. 1 second. Going to change your stats so you have...
All right.
You should now be able to do it. What do you mean, traders? Is this a mod? This is a lot of mods. Yeah, we've commissioned our own mods to emulate a Stalker-esque setup.
Oof. Okay. Yeah. We did repair it.
Okay. How much?
Here. Take a look at it. That's after 1 repair.
Wow. Okay. So what's the percentage? Like, does it actually say like how much it?
It says it has a chance. It's like 20%. So I don't know if it's...
Oh yeah. The percentages I'm repairing are really low.
So that went from about 35, I would guess, to about 50.
I see that. I wonder if that scales with your aiming skill.
I would bet that it does, kind of like the other repairs in the game.
I'm going to give you some more levels in aim, and I will probably take these away afterwards, but I'd like to see if we can... If it does, I think I'll request a change to that if we can. But yeah, I'm just going to bump your level up to like a level 8, and just see if it makes a difference.
Alright, let me know when we're good to go. I'll try it.
Yeah, you're good. You can try it. Hey, Spiv, what up?
Now it's up to 35%. It was 20% before.
Okay, yeah. So it does scale on aim skill. Okay. I think I'm going to request we change that, because I feel like that is an unnecessary thing. If we're going to make weapons that hard to find and repair, I feel like you don't exactly want to have it that bad. I feel like that's something anybody should be able to do. So we might try and change that. Anyway, Okay, let's, I'm gonna collect up some of this ammo. I think we should be able to sell some of it.
Want to take a walk to the convenience store down here? Or
sure, yeah, and we can...
I took Smoker. I want to see if there's some cigs in there.
Sure. And they'll all be replaced by the Stalker items too. I think, well, some of them will. They mix into the spawns. The standard food items are still in the game, but... Beer and liquor.
I was thinking of the one that's south down here, the gas station.
Oh, yeah,
If it does, maybe. It might, on this loot setting, it might not have any, but...
Well, it's not extremely rare for everything outside firearms and ammo, so... We should still find some. It's only the guns and ammo that are going to be, like, really hard to find. Oh, Cossack's vodka. Looks harsh for guns, or maybe that's the point of Stalker since I don't know what it is. Yeah, so the way Stalker works is you either buy them at pristine condition, or you find them out in the world and they will always be in sort of like really bad condition and you repair them. So is the server free? Or you have to pay for it to be able to join? This server that we're speaking about now, this is a whitelisted server via my Patreon. You can host like local servers yourselves if you want off your PC, or you can pay for a hosting service. So it's different. But all these mods that we're running, we made sure they were publicly available, so if you do want to run them. Got some food and drink in here. Now, I believe, if I remember correctly, I think I set up the cook at the duty HQ to buy any food item, so he should buy food back from us.
Yeah, I found a bunch of fun stuff over here, like Tashankas and MRE and some other fun stuff.
Yep, I got some Tourist Delight. I haven't found any cigarettes yet, though.
I got cigarettes down here. I found a pack of Lucky Strikes.
Lucky Strikes, nice. I think those replace the regular cigarettes from the game. So we replace those with Lucky Strikes.
Okay. Couple questions. Sleep on the server, and is there loot respawn on the server?
There is loot respawn, and there isn't sleep. Sleep is not needed. I don't know about you, but I find that sleep kind of is really tedious in multiplayer. But yeah, so it's not a thing on ours.
Yeah, I mean, we tend to use that sleeping with friends mod so that you still get the fatigue and you have to deal with finding a safe place, but it only takes like 2 IRL minutes to sleep. But yeah, I mean, sleep is one of the easier things in the game to manage anyway, so it's not like, I don't think it really changes too much just having it all.
Yeah, so we opted to turn it off because we just found it was a bit of a pain, but
yeah, I totally understand.
Not a new map, no. There are map mods that we're using, and there are trade outposts that are map mods as well, but still the standard old draw. We should bring PZ to consoles. I feel like a lot of people share that. Resting bonus to sitting or something like that. Oh, you mean like for getting rid of fatigue? Yeah, that's still the game. You just can't sleep. You don't get tired as such. Any luck down there?
Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Coming your way now.
Okay. Back to the cart. Okay, yeah, so we'll head back to the HQ. I'm in the wrong seat again. And what I'll probably do is I'll probably spawn the weapons. You might be able to buy one.
I'm pretty wealthy after selling that artifact.
We first made them, Berxian, in I think September. But yeah, they're relatively new. This is our second attempt at running it. What's the zombie pop? I can't remember what we have it set as on the test server we're running right now. I think it's like 1.5. But we don't reveal what we run on the Patreon server because we find that people argue about like what they think is the best settings, or like, oh, that's not high enough zombies, or oh, that's too many zombies, and everybody has a different like opinion. So we keep all of those like sort of under wraps. And we don't change anything without telling people. So if we make food more common or we make weapons rarer, we'll tell them, but we don't tell them what it's actually set at because people bicker about it and stuff. Exactly, Sam. Psystorms doesn't affect water, just organic life, as far as I understand. Yeah, so we would like to get anomalies generated, Maxim. It's a matter of if we put anomalies in, we need to figure out like a way for them to be a danger, right? The best way for me to describe it is making anomalies is a lot of different coding disciplines all at once, right? You've got the moving graphic like animation, you've got the actual dev work of like making it do something to the player. You'd probably have to create different systems to be able to do that. So for example, like your fire damage, your psi damage, your electric damage, etc. Then you'd need to create gear to protect from that. And you'd need like a building radiation system, which again, the game doesn't have right now. So it's a bit more difficult than lots of the stuff we've got in right now because it requires so many different things. But I would definitely like to. It's not out of the question. Will you make a free server anytime soon? No, I'm afraid not. Personally, I have no interest in running a free server because we try to keep it.
Another question from chat, Duck.
Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, no worries.
We like to try and keep it like guarded against things like trolls, hackers, stream snipers, you know, that sort of thing. And honestly, putting a paywall on that has just reduced all of those issues entirely. You know, I think we've got it set at like £3 a month for server access right now, and we find that's a good, you know. So as much as I would love to, no, we don't have plans, but all of these mods are publicly available, so people can do that if they want to. What up, Skuma? Good to see you. Thank you very much for the subs, guys. Appreciate that. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. So people were wondering if you have an OnlyFans set up, and if you do, is it like full under feather, or what kind of action are we getting there?
I don't have an OnlyFans at the moment. I'm actually considering making my own platform called OnlyQuacks. Where we share like webbed feet pics, you know, and stuff like that.
Right up to the down.
Yeah. Potentially, yeah. I don't think above the tail feathers would be acceptable for me. That'd be where I draw the line, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep your self-respect, you know.
Exactly. That's why it's nicer when the game already has those classes to call on with the new code. Yeah, so I'd like to do anomalies and like a radiation system and stuff like that. It's just that it's a lot of different features bringing together. So I'd probably need to find like 3 or 4 modders that are happy to work together to do that, because we'd need to wire it into so many different things. It'd need to be wired into the artifacts, to the armor, to all sorts. the cool thing as well about this sort of thing is we've sort of realized that having like these outposts where people can go to, you find that like players congregate around them and actually start like sort of, I wouldn't say basing out of them, but they come here regularly and check in with each other or see who's around and, you know, go out on
that's pretty
like,
cool.
excursions.
So like a main city in an MMO, like where there's just
exactly.
Like a hub where you're likely to run into other people. That's pretty neat.
I'm gonna head in and we'll see if we can buy maybe a weapon or something. Firstly, I'm gonna see if I can sell the shotgun. No, okay, so it's 2 damaged. I can't sell it. It's good because that's where I want it. Definitely think we need to make repairs a bit easier. Sell some of the ammo. Oh. There won't be, if there's anything they're not set up to buy right now, that's just because it's a test server. We have to, we basically have to go through every item and define what they buy.
Oof, that's a lot of work.
It is a lot. He has added an import and export feature after the last time we did it, so once we've done it this time, it'll all be good to go for the future, which is nice. You can sort of like pull vendors and you can copy them as well across to other vendors and whatnot.
So I had an engineering question in chat. Can you still get craft bombs?
Craft bombs? Yeah. If it's part of the vanilla game.
Profession. So.
Oh yeah, good question. I think if I remember correctly, aren't those? Is there a magazine that you can read for those? Or is that just the engineer?
I don't believe so. I think it's just engineer profession.
I guess you wouldn't be able to, no. That said, we could probably wire it up to one of the occupations. I will say, we haven't had anybody sort of mention that, so I don't think a lot of players use it.
No, I have one friend who's just insane. He's a pyromaniac bomb guy. He always wants to be an engineer. He wants to blow everything up all the time. So that's his question, of course.
No, that's a very good question. I would imagine that we could probably wire that to one of the occupations. No reason we couldn't, because it's an existing game feature. I'd probably wire that to Clear Sky, but we'd maybe have to adjust Clear Sky for that. Yeah, so we've got a bunch of weapons here that we can try. Now, this is a brand new thing that was literally, again, a lot of these were finished last night. So if you're seeing any weapons in here that don't have icons or are using like a magazine that doesn't have an icon yet, stuff like that, these are from StendoClip, the guy that made the Vanilla Firearms expansion. And we commissioned him to make, like, I guess, an expansion for the expansion. Just more weapons. So now we've got things like the SV98, the SKS, the Dragunov, you know, the Galil, Sega shotgun, the SS, all these guns that you'd probably recognize from Stalker. And there's more on the way as well. This is like, I think this is stage 1 out of 4 or 5. But there's going to be a lot more guns. And the nice thing is that they will tell you what ammo they use when you hover over them and stuff. So,
it's very cool. Yeah, it's super neat to see all these guns.
So, what am I going to buy? What do we want to try out? Do you have a preference? Is there anything on here that you want to take for a spin?
I mean, I'm pretty open. What do you suggest? I haven't really used any of these new guns, so
let's have a look. I mean, people in chat are already telling me their favorites. Why don't you tell me what your chat wants you to use, and I'll pick up what my chat wants me to use. We'll just grab like a gun for each of us. I'm just gonna spawn a bunch of money here, chat. I don't need to do this. Why am I doing this? I'm giving myself money. I can spawn myself the items. So it has to be one of these in here. We've got like the Vitiaz, the M500, the SKS, the Dragunov, an AK, a Galil. We do have an HK416 as well.
I guess I'll take a Sega, I guess. Or Saiga.
Sega, huh? Good choice.
I tried to steer my chat in my low aiming skill. I assume
we can change that.
A Mosin. I'm like, that's not gonna work great. I have a feeling.
We can change that. Don't worry. We have the power here. I'll drop it on the ground for you. So again, the icon doesn't look right now, but the gun itself, the model should. Yeah. So there you go. There's your Sega. Get you some shotgun shells as well. What's the worst gun? See, I love the difference between my chat and yours. My chat have just asked me, what's the worst gun? They want me to use the worst one. Here's some boxes of shells.
Perfect, thank you.
Drop a couple more as well. One that's not loaded. I love Segas. Oh dear. So I'm gonna bump our aiming up to like 6 or something, just so we can have around these. This will be the first time these have been tested as well.
Cutting edge. We're on the cutting edge. You'd love to see it.
What did we say? AK? VSS is my pick. The ASVAL would be cool. Why don't we grab like a VSS, try that out, and then we'll spawn a HK as well. I'm gonna need to get myself a better backpack, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was just. I don't have a backpack, so I'm trying to work. So I'm throwing all this stuff on the ground, trying to make my carry weight.
Well, hang on. I've got a perfect solution to this. Okay, I have it. Let's go outside because it's gonna make things a little bit easier. I have a perfect solution to this. Now, the Stalker armor pack comes with exoskeletons.
Ooh.
And exoskeletons work as a backpack.
Well, that's awesome.
So if we do, let's do a full duty exosuit for both of us. Right, we're gonna have a bit of a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so I'm gonna drop them on the ground here. There's 2 of each, so if you just want to grab one, throw them on.
Oh my lord, that looks amazing.
We'll see how this changes your carry weight. It's the exoskeleton itself that functions as the backpack.
Wow, that's super cool.
But yeah, the rest of the armor will sort of like complement it, I guess. So we'll kit out in full exosuits. And then I guess we'll just have a walk around outside or inside the mall and... Cap, hello! How are you, sir? Oh yeah, that's made carrying things a little bit easier. Okay, so the VSS right now, I believe, uses 9mm bullets. I think that might be changing, but right now it uses 9mm.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be trying the VSS, which I'm intrigued to see how it functions. I don't know whether it's like fully working yet, or a lot of this stuff is very much sort of like in development. Have a look. Okay, so it's loud, which... Yeah, so this doesn't function as it should right now. But it works. See, yours, I think, will be fine, because it doesn't need, like, a custom sound or anything like that. It'll just work.
Those are like the custom racking noise, wasn't it?
Yeah. There's a custom racking noise. I think that's taken from one of the AKs. In the mod pack. So I'm gonna run instead. I'm gonna try the HK416. I think. And the cool thing as well about the firearms expansion mod is there are some attachments, and they work pretty well, I believe. So got a Sega, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's see if we can put a laser on that for him and a red dot. See if I don't know whether it will fit it or not, because obviously it's a Sega, so I don't know. But try putting these on there. I know, for example, on the HK, I can have like a coupled mag and stuff like that.
Think I might need a screwdriver to make this happen.
Oh, might be right. Screwdriver. Dropping one now.
Thank you, sir.
I can't add them to mine. To be fair, it looks like it can't be... Looking at it, it says it can't be mounted on it. There must be stuff that so...
Yeah, I'm unable to add these.
Okay. That's no problem. Alright, let me grab some magazines and load them up. So we got like coupled mags here, look.
Right, I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. So those will work as well. You can have like coupled magazines. I think it's the M16 mags that they work with. Again, those should all be renamed by the time we're done, I think. Yeah, uses an M16 magazine. So these will probably have like their own names, or this might be changed to like 5.56 mag rather than, you know, just a M16 magazine. I would imagine we'll probably just change the name to 5.56 Stanag magazine. But the nice thing is that each one tells you what it's compatible with, which is a very nice feature. So you can see, like with the magazine here, right? It says ammo type 5.56, gun type M16. So it tells you which one it goes into. Oh God. Stop loading the mag!
Looks like I came back just in time.
Yeah, say that again. I'm trying to get my guy to stop loading his magazine. Yeah, I'm interested by this HK but I know the AK sounds really nice. That's like a one that was already made. But yeah, we're hoping to add a lot of stuff into the game in terms of weapons. I don't know. Have you tried running Britas before?
Yes, I have.
So you're familiar with how much of a pain in the ass it can be to actually...
Yeah, I actually stopped using Britas, to be honest. I liked Britas when it was plug and play.
Yeah.
You know, you put it on, and then there was like 12 gauge shotguns, and there was like normal stuff. Now there's like grenade launchers and missile launchers and squirt guns and 46 different 223 guns.
And the problem
the distro is
yeah, the problem is that you can't change the settings properly without making a mod to determine the settings of the mod that you run with the Britas mod. So there's 3 mods that you need to run Britas on a multiplayer server, which just is so complex.
My buddy made a distro mod for us, but it messed up the weapon indicator mod.
Yep. Yeah.
We just had a bunch. It's just a lot of issues. So.
Yeah, which is why we had this commissioned, because after the last time we ran Britters for this setup, it was an absolute pain. So much so that I literally just went away and was like, we can't run this again next time.
Yeah, that's what happened to us. It was just too much. It was just like
so.
No.
But Stalker, right? Stalker is obviously a lot more like there's a lot more weapon variety in that game. So we still had the problem of like, okay, well, how are we gonna get that weapon variety into Zomboid? And the solution was to go away and commission our own one, which we've done. And Stendo is building, so.
Awesome.
All right, let's take a drive up to the mall and we'll just we'll test these guns out a little bit. The vanilla expansion is what we're using. I'm a big fan. That's my preferred choice. What up, Night Rogue? Neither silent nor auto VSS. Yeah, all these guns are in development right now, Tom, so they were literally like made workable for this test, basically. So they're not finished by any means. The VSS should have its own sound effects. It should have full auto. That'll all be done. We're also running, so we're running Firearms expansion. We're also running Gun Runners expansion to that as well. And then our mod on top of it. Well, there is radiation zones, yeah. There are radiation zones.
It's a little busier over here.
Yes, it does. All right, let's... These things are well. Yeah, the mod list gets updated whenever there is an update, and we just restart the server. We have a bot that allows us to do it from Discord, which is really nice. So do you use 5-round mags in that thing, or?
Yeah, this is 5-round mags.
I feel like we need to get like bigger mags for that. Because like otherwise I feel like why wouldn't you just use a regular shotgun, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of, although it does feel really strong, like.
I think the damage is very high on it. How do you guys have oh, sorry. How do you guys have lock picking working? Thought it was broken. Don't think so. I mean, if it's broken, it's broken. It stays in the mod pack until it's fixed. Alright. Must say I'm liking the HK.
Yeah, it looks like it's slaying.
Alright, let me try... Do you want to try something else?
Sure. I'll try something else.
Let's try a Vityaz. Gonna need some 9mm. Okay, so I'm gonna drop on the ground here a... You know what? I'll put it in the trunk of the car. It's 4 Vitiaz mags, 5 boxes of ammo, and a Vitiaz submachine gun.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
That'll try. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to an AK. So these are all like weapons that we've got running. These are gonna be the ones that we run on the server wipe. Let's play our music again here. Okay. And you can buy all of these from traders and stuff like that. Now I can... There's also, because I know this is a weapon that's already been made, it wasn't part of this new pack, I can run stuff like coupled magazines on the AK, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love the coupled mags.
Yeah, talk of nostalgia. There's going to be a lot of Russian weapons, or like Eastern-based weapons, in these mods, because
the loading and racking sounds are nice.
Yeah, I think Stendo made those himself. I'm not 100%. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, obviously, whilst it is just a weapons mod that's open to everybody, it is sort of themed around that like Stalker setup. So there'll be some Western style guns in there, but a lot of them will be Eastern.
If we get really close together, it's pretty weird.
Don't look into my eyes while you do it, dude. It just makes it weird. Okay, so that sounds like the pistol, I think. Like a similar sound effect. Is it fully auto? Can you change to full auto yet, or just out of interest? All of that will be possible, I just don't know whether it is right now.
Is B the key for that?
I think so.
It usually is. Doesn't seem to be doing anything.
Okay. Yeah, so that will be fully automatic. Again, lots of these have been prepared literally, like, finished yesterday. Oh, is it B? Actually. Change, oh, okay, so if you right click on the weapon, does it have like change fire mode?
Oh yeah, it does have full auto, yeah.
Okay, awesome. You said the server is running bad condition vehicles, but there are any custom vehicle mods on? Yes, we're running the KI5 vehicles. Yeah. That was a good question from somebody in my chat as well. We're using the KI5 vehicles for this one as well. We were running filibusters like on our previous like setups, but KI5 is so good for a Stalker setup. They just look so much more the part.
Yeah, they're really nice. We run a combination of the two actually. So we run some Philly with some KI5 mixed in.
Yeah. The one thing that I'm always like dubious of is all the bloody Humvees in the KI5 mod.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this thing wrecks.
There are Range Rovers, yeah, so probably a few too many of those, maybe. We haven't seen a storm yet. They should occur. I think 3 days needs to pass before another one can occur. But I don't know when the first one can start happening.
Oh, that would be cool. I'd like to see a storm.
This is one of my favorite like parts of the vanilla firearms mod was always that like the guns react to indoor environments. I don't think that's a thing in Britters, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but
I haven't used Britters in so long, I'm not really sure.
I always loved that they reacted to like indoor settings. Of jamming going on. Makes this mod any good? Which mod? You'd have to be more specific. We're running a lot in the setup. So we've got like artifact hunting, we've got factions. We've got trading at the factions, like you can trade with like NPC traders. We've got...
Are there silencers for these, and does it change it must change the in-game sound, yeah?
I don't think there's a suppressor sound yet. It might fit the standard 9mm one, but I don't know if it will fit them right now, but they will. I'm pretty sure, like, what's probably going to happen with these is that any like attachments that are already in the game that are like, or his existing mod that are suitable, they can be like connected to all the guns that would make sense, and then probably once he's finished all of like the, you know, all of the base weapons, then there'll be like a wave of attachments that come out in a later update. This is the Patreon. I mean, we're on a local test one, but it'll be coming to the Patreon server on the 3rd of December. So I hope that explained the mods a little bit. But we are going to be putting out a video. I am rather soon, which will sort of talk through. It'll sort of talk through how the mods work, what they do, you know, how we got them made, who made them, etc., etc. Okay, there's a lot now.
Yeah, we've pulled a couple.
Yeah, and like I say, the cool thing about like the toxic zones is that, like, you know, if we wanted to make this area like a little bit harder to access, we could just put a toxic zone around it, you know, like. And then you'd need a gas mask to come here. And you'd be able to find artifacts and stuff like that. Yeah, last time I think we put them around like military locations.
So this is from my chat. You guys may want to consider the advanced audio mod for adjusting these gun noises.
Okay. Does that work with like any mod, or?
As far as I know, it does. I've used it before with gun mods. It just makes it so that you can pretty much adjust any sound in the game. Remember, it used to be a vanilla feature. I don't know why they removed it, but basically it just re-enables the advanced audio button, so that you're able to turn up and down the gun sounds.
Yeah, no, that sounds like
my chat is rioting right now with all the gun noises.
No, that sounds like a decent idea. And my gun's losing condition fast. This is the thing with like fully auto weapons, is they lose durability so quickly in Zomboid. My gun's almost at like half.
All right, this is a very stalker question that I don't understand.
Okay.
With Authentic Z, does the loner trader mannequin a fatty Sid?
No, we got. Sadly, I cannot change the body weight of the mannequins. But I would love to do that when NPCs come in. I would love to.
On
make
our
that
server,
happen.
when you could wear the clothing, we were able to put fat clothes on mannequins and scarecrows and stuff.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, so we have like big fat scarecrows and stuff. So if you were to like have all the clothing enabled or spawn in it as an admin, you could probably put it on a mannequin.
Oh, okay. And it would change how the mannequin looked.
Yeah, it did. It did for us. Yeah.
Interesting. I would love to have a Sidorovich vendor. Love to do that. Whether or not it would be possible because of the clothing options, it would depend on what clothing's available, I guess. Like for the larger models, you know?
Yeah. You'd probably have to start it so that the player was able to wear all clothing, spawn in on the clothing that you wanted to wear, and then take your clothing and put it on the mannequin, maybe? I think that would work, and then switch it back. I think that would work. I don't know.
I can't guarantee he would look exactly like Sidorovich, though, because that's down to what clothing items are available for Authentic Z.
Yeah, you'd have to choose one of the chunky zombie variants.
Yeah. I don't know if any of you guys have actually looked at the mod, but the Shops and Trader mod actually has like a Spiffo in the exact same like location that Sidorovich is at in the Stalker games, and he's dressed up like Sidorovich as well.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Which is great. But yeah, no, I'd love to get you and maybe like a friend or two or something on the server when it goes up, and just see what you think of the whole experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm psyched for it, my friend. I'm totally down to come play.
What else could we do? We can have. Do you want to have a bit of a wander around like another HQ location?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to check those out for sure.
Okay. So I haven't prepped these, so the doors won't be unlocked. So I'm gonna have to unlock them in admin while we're there. Does your chat have any preference as to which base they would like to see? Any of the factions in Stalker, except for Sin and Renegades.
The first answer I get from chat is Clear Sky.
Clear Sky, okay. No memento, just cover me for a second.
Got your back.
Okay. Bring you to me. Game never likes when you teleport somebody now. Seeing you teleport? I don't think.
Yeah, I'm here.
You are here. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm on you.
I might have just teleported you twice. Okay, I think I'm gonna need to reconnect because my game's just gone down to like 5 FPS from that. But I'll be right back. You should check out the new PSA gun mod. It's a Stalker area, I think. Okay. I will give that. Just be old and go raving all your childhood. The biosuits work against radiation. No, so the only things that will work against like the radiation zones is the gas masks from like the Stalker armor pack. Because it's directly linked to that pack. Gotcha, thank you. I'll give that a look. What up, Ivo? How you doing? Random parts and tools for each refresh. Not possible, unfortunately. Randomization of what the vendor has wouldn't be possible right now. We set what he has, we set his stock amount, and then we set how often it refreshes. Okay, that's better. Let's have a bit of a wander.
Are you back?
I am. Can you? I might be in admin mode.
I can't see you. Yeah, I think you're in admin.
There we go. Okay, so this is Clear Sky. We wanted Clear Sky to have, because they're a little bit like right in the Stalker games, they're like right in the corner of the map. And they're a little bit like sort of not secretive, but they don't have like a massive presence. So you see from, I mean, we're just east of Muldraw and just south of that little like trailer park between West Point and Muldraw. And this is a little bit just sort of off the road a bit too.
So a little sneaky location.
Yeah, and you'll see straight away that the construction's a bit different, right? Like we've got log walls instead. Looks like zombies have been here and destroyed these gates already. When we boot the server up for the first time, usually what we do is we just teleport to each of the locations and just clear up the zombies in those areas. So that won't be an issue, but
makes sense.
Here's our mechanics vendor down here. So people can bring their vehicles in,
cool.
right? And then they come through here. Let me just unlock this door. Door, unlock. So you can sort of like drive your vehicle in here, right? And then in this little room here, we would have our mechanics vendor, and he would sell like car parts.
That's really, really awesome.
Yeah, I've found that like the whole trading setup for Zomboid made such a difference to the actual like gameplay arc. Because it just changes everything completely. You know, you're not going out on runs to find that stuff anymore. It's like a different take on it.
Or it's not like the Chads have already hit all the good spots.
Exactly.
Day 3,
yeah.
So if you're new to the server or you didn't get there first, like you don't get anything.
Exactly. So this is based on an existing location as well. I don't know if you've been here like in game before. But this building on our left here, this wooden one, and that cabin are here, usually. But as you can see, Simon has kind of taken that, and he's got his own patch of crops and stuff here. And you can actually tend to these, like they're already planted, you can tend to them and whatever.
Very cool.
Straight off the bat. I think those are custom tiles with like the cloth over the fence over there.
Oh yeah, oh that looks amazing actually. That's so neat. Look at that, chat. Check out that fence.
I would imagine this is probably where we'd put like the gear vendor. We have a lot of NA players, Drew. Yeah, we have a lot of NA players. It looks like this building is spawned as barricaded. So because we're running barricaded world, it'll barricade up like random buildings.
Right.
So we'd.
That's a cool mod. I like that mod.
Yeah, we find it helps with the Stalker setup, but again, it would be removed for the purposes of this. I want to be able to build like Simon when I grow up. Simon learned to do this. I was just saying to my chat, Cheers, that Simon is actually one of our like community, like he's an admin for the server, and that's the guy that built all of these in as map mods, and he actually learned how to build maps purely for this. Like he's learned how to do it from scratch.
That's amazing. The commitment to do that for the community. How lucky you are to have
I
such
know. Tell me
awesome
about it.
community member. That's great.
Tell me about it, because I don't know much about like how difficult it is to make maps, but I know that they cost a lot of money to have them commissioned. So I'd probably say it's quite difficult to do for that reason. And then you've got like your guns place.
Very cool. Very cool.
Guns lock up and whatnot. What up, Squillis? Yeah, I think it's enjoyable. I mean I like building in Zomboid. It's like one of my favorite things to do. Build a full outhouse here with like working sinks. He did. He's even put like I've just seen he's put the water collectors on the roof. So I would imagine that these will be plumbed. Yeah, they're right above the toilets. So he's plumbed in all the toilets and everything. Makeshift plumbing. It's cool. The little shower rooms.
Yeah, this looks great. Absolutely looks great.
Oh, you can close the
know
curtains
nothing
as
about
well.
the.
I didn't know
oh
that.
yeah, look at that. I know nothing about making maps myself, but I know it's very in-depth process. So
Yeah,
I'm sure this was a huge amount of work.
The only problem that comes as a result of this is because when you use the 10 years later mod, I'm sure you've noticed that inside the buildings there's like vegetation. The difficulty with that is that 10 years later isn't supposed to put vegetation in buildings if you use a particular setup for it. But because this is like a custom made like area, it doesn't consider it all as inside sometimes, so it doesn't know what's inside a building and what isn't. So we do have to go around like removing vegetation at the start of the setup.
A little pre-get, yeah.
But it's much better than what we did the first time round. The first time we ran this setup, we had to build all of these by hand, like using in-game admin tools.
Was the brush tool, did it exist at that point?
We had the brush tool, yeah. Yeah, we had the brush tool, which made it a lot easier. But it was so much time.
Yeah, it's a huge amount of work even with the brush tool, but yeah, we've done some adminning stuff before the brush tool existed and custom stuff was oof.
Yeah. I'm gonna show you one last one, which will be see if the teleport doesn't actually like break my game this time. I think we'll show you the military HQ. So I think this will be a good one to sort of show you like the difference between the styles. So you've just seen clear sky. And now I'm gonna move you over to me. Don't like. So this is gonna be the military HQ. Now this one is just southeast of Muldrop, along the main road. So these guys are essentially clamping down one of the exits from the map. This is at like a key intersection that leads out of the map. So these guys have set up like a checkpoint. In the Stalker games, the military are supposed to be like containing the whole thing. And you can see like the difference in building style that he's gone for.
Right, yeah, this is brick buildings, clearly much more,
You got the sandbags, and yeah, so this is much more sort of like built up. You've still got sort of like the tents, the military tents and everything. A lot less wood being used. This building here, I believe, is where we would have our couple of our traders. It's actually unlocked already. Yeah, so we have one of our traders in there, and another one, I think, upstairs. And if we head out, new addition to this area that a lot of my other players won't have seen yet is this little building over here, which is brand new. Simon built this. See if I can just unlock this.
Did you say this map mod is available as well?
Yeah, all of these are available as part of the mod pack, yeah. I can't tell whether that's actually a proper door or not. Looks like 3 doors when I walk up to it.
Yeah, that looks like.
Oh, there we go. I've got this one unlocked, but it still isn't think there's a wall behind it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think
there's a wall behind this, yeah.
There's a wall, yeah.
Okay. I'll relay that one to Simon, because there's definitely a wall there. Let's do this one. This one will open. So again, there won't be all this grass on the ground. Done with it, but little mechanics place. Storage room in the back. There's a brand new sort of like building for this area, and if there's a shooting range out back, there's an office upstairs. But yeah, it's definitely meant to be a different style to some of the others. Yeah, the idea though is that these are like maintained areas, right? Like these are people are living here and stuff, so it wouldn't make much sense for the firing range out back. I remember I posted a couple of these pictures on YouTube, and one comment that we had so many people make was basically words to the effect of like the firing ranges are facing the wrong way. So they should be facing the other way apparently. This is apparently like a major breach in safety. But it's not like my biggest concern.
I'm not shooting into the building over there.
It's not like my biggest concern, honestly. But apparently that's a thing. Yeah, you're supposed to like face the guns the other way, or the targets.
Come on, man, realism.
I know.
We need realism in this zombie game.
Honestly, the amount of comments that we had about it, I was just like, really? There's like the one thing that you spot out of the whole.
It's frustrating. You put in all this work, you like to see like, oh, this is awesome. Like, how cool is that? And it's like,
so many
your
comments.
Shooting range is the wrong direction.
Yeah, so many comments were like, oh, the shooting range is the wrong way. I'm like, I don't care. Shut up. The radio room. Exactly. Why isn't it perfect one-to-one realism? So yeah, I guess that's about it.
It looks great, man. I am super hyped about it. A lot of my people in chat are super excited, and I'm 100% gonna come play. This looks great.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll make sure you've got an account set up, and like I say, if there's any friends you want to come and play with you, we're happy to sort of like whitelist one or two people that you can group up with.
I don't have any friends.
So okay, well that's moods. I get it.
Yeah, I'll probably bring a couple people with me. That would be awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I'll say it for, if you don't mind, I'm just say it for everybody once more, like how they can get access.
Please do, because
yeah,
that's
so
part of the thing.
So this is all whitelisted via my Patreon. If you're watching Cheese's stream right now, I'm sure a Patreon link can get dropped in chat or something.
Just drop.
Awesome, thank you. The mods are all publicly available, though. Completely understand that not everybody wants to pay to access a server. They're all publicly available. You can run it in single player, or somebody could host a free server, or whatever you want to do. That's absolutely up to you. We're going to be running this as of the 3rd of December. And Patreon will charge you on the 1st of every month. So if you're only interested in playing this, I would recommend waiting until the 1st of the month to subscribe. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it now, because now I'll have somebody that I know playing on the server as well, so we'll be able to hopefully get some duos in or something while we survive.
Oh, absolutely. I hope to hook up again. This has been really great. I've been looking forward to getting a chance to hang out with you. We just kind of missed each other, and we just haven't really had a chance to do anything. So thank you so much for inviting us along, and the tour and the opportunity to play. I'm super excited. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for joining, and yeah, have a good rest of your day.
You too, my friend. Have a good one. Bye, Duck. And bye, Duck's chat.
Okay, so chat, that was, I'm gonna pull up Cheese's stream here. So that was Royale with Cheese. You can go check him out on Twitch if you would like to. He is another Project Zomboid content creator who mostly streams on Twitch. Okay, bye. Yep. Really, really good dude. Somebody that know, a lot of respect for, especially. But I hope you guys have enjoyed sort of like the early look at all of the Stalker stuff. I know that it's not, you know, like a one-to-one of Stalker, but hopefully you can appreciate like how many of these features we've been able to bring across and what it means and what it does for the game. Again, if you want to download them, there's a link in the description. You can subscribe to those mods. I would encourage anybody, if you like this sort of thing, if you love what you've seen today, go and subscribe to those mods, but go and comment on their pages or something as well, you know, like them or upvote them or comment or anything you want to see in the future, maybe as well. Just tell them you want to see them. You know, let them know what you think and then tell them what you would like to see. You know, I have no qualms about you requesting things for those mods, and we might be able to make it happen. I can't guarantee anything, but they have done so much to make this possible. Yes, obviously we've paid them. You know, we paid them to do the work, but to be able to find somebody with this much sort of like passion towards a game and a vision that we've had and help make it possible to such a high quality is incredible. Especially Simon, who designed all of these absolutely for free. Like, he did this because he's a member of our community and he wants it to do well. So, can't thank Simon enough. But all of the modders really have done a fantastic job. Yeah, Cryogenic Winter was a really difficult setup, and a lot of people, I think, were tested. Me included. But we have a brand new setup on the way. I have a question for you guys. Okay. So, you've seen the radiation zones, or the toxic zones, whatever you want to call them, and you've seen how they work. Now, last time we put them around military areas and some areas within towns and stuff like that. What would you think, right, as a player on a server, if entire areas were radiation zones? So I'm talking like, because I know this is controversial, so I want to ask the question. I'm talking like if we put a toxic zone around Raven Creek, right? Or, I mean, we're going to have one around Fort Redstone because that's a military location. We had them around that last time. But, you know, we picked an area and just whacked a radiation zone around it, right? Risk versus reward, otherwise people will just ignore or bypass it entirely. Yeah. Like high radiation or just elevated background rads. So you would have to wear a mask and it would use a filter. Right, is how that would work. If you don't wear a mask, you slowly die. So it would be, you'd have to wear a mask and a filter to enter the area. And it would start to use it up. I think radiated zones around modded cities or towns would suffice. I like the idea. Keep vanilla cities and towns clear. RIP March Ridge. We had a zone around March Ridge last time, actually, or a lot of it. More than okay with it if it came with like an in-game warning, maybe a sign this is Rad's entire city. Oh, you know as soon as you enter the area, Scab. So let me show you what it looks like. Actually, let's turn my admin back on just so I don't get eaten alive as soon as I teleport. So, as soon as you enter a toxic area, it does this. You get this, like, green screen effect. And my gas mask will start to get used, and I would lose health if I, you know, don't get out of it. The gas mask runs out. But as soon as I leave the area, this effect drops off. the thinking is to separate it from a normal small class. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, so warn them it's the entire city. Yeah, the thing is we can't do that in game. There's no way for us to do that. There's also no way for us to make the loot better in those areas. Can't tune the severity or speed of death without a mask. No, can't do that. That's a set. Is the drop off instant? Like the gas effect? Yeah. I mean, it fades. Like it fades out, but yeah, it will stop wounding you as soon as you step out the area. So, like, for example, look, as we continue to run now, you see how it just fades away, like, and it fades back in. It's telling us that it's a radiation area. We can't. The thing is I'd really love to get like a working radiation system in the game with, like, you know, upgradable armor and using artifacts to craft different, you know, types of defense, and plugging it into your existing armor and stuff. But the problem with all of that, like we were saying earlier, is that it requires a lot of supporting features. You know, you need to design the different types of damage. You need to design plugging artifacts into armor. You need anomalies that will do those different types of damages. We can't control the speed of it. No. Nothing a fat wallet can't do. Listen, I've just gone full time, alright, Soul? I've got bills to pay to keep the lights on. Give me a month or two and maybe we'll talk about it. No, I would love to do that. I really would. If you'd be up for working on something like that, Soul, we could absolutely, like, look at designing like a radiation system and stuff. And I think the problem would be we'd probably need like several different modders. Do you know what I mean? We'd probably need like a group of people that were happy to design it. Because, like, I know, for example, your area of expertise is things like these radiation zones or whatever. Maybe we could have like a radiation counter that tells you how much radiation, like what kind of stage your radiation sickness is at. Soul Filcher's radiation poisoning time. Yeah, the server's in the UK. Yeah, so it's... Yeah, I agree with that, Justin. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that then, Soul, in a little bit more detail. And I think that would actually become handy for maybe a future project that I'm thinking of as well. So obviously... our server has kind of become known for these themed setups, and as we grow and the Patreon grows, which it has been doing, it gives us more funds to spend on stuff like this. All of this was funded by, you know, my own money, which has been put forward from you guys for the Patreon, right? That's where the Patreon funds go, other than paying for server costs and stuff like that. They go into commissioning mods like this. So one thing I'd really like to do maybe in the future is to design a Fallout setup as well. Because I know a lot of people love the Fallout games. And I think a radiation system, if done right, could also apply to a Fallout setting. So yeah, I think we can talk about that, Soul, definitely. We just need to work. We might need to work with like Kind's Peace to edit the Stalker armor pack and stuff to allow it being plugged into armor, and maybe like talk to somebody about having the artifacts visible on the armor, or who knows. Fallout 1 and 2 are ISO as well. True. Fallout month means we can have real music mod, eh? Fallout music is DMCA friendly. I mean, color me over wary about that sort of thing. I have to be 100% sure that every single song I'm playing is DMCA friendly, because YouTube takes no fucking prisoners. Like, if there is one song in that collection that's owned by a label somewhere, it will be copyrighted. And my entire like video stream, whatever, will be. I use Epidemic Sound because I'm licensed to play all of the music on Epidemic Sound. That's like the safest bet for me. Yeah, a lot of people from the US play as well, yeah. And there are definitely some DMCA songs in Fallout 3, yeah, it's tricky. Gotta be really, really careful. Whereabouts in the UK are you, Night Rogue? Out of curiosity. Yeah, no, I do. I recommend Epidemic Sound as a content creator. If you know, and if you ever want to give it a try as well, I think they do a referral link for like a discount as well. So, like you can get like free time and stuff, I think. But yeah, no, I'm happy with it. It's like, I think it's £10 a month for me to use Epidemic Sound. And to be honest, like, you think about that in terms of how many songs I'm playing on videos. You know, I'm doing like a 2 or 3 hour stream every week, and then plus like 2 videos. That's what, 4 streams a month and 8 videos or so. You know, that's a price I'm willing to pay. Around the corner from Wimbledon. I'm in Lincolnshire. Yeah. In the East Midlands. When will we be able to play the server? The server launches on the 3rd of December. 3rd of December. The reason behind that is the current one ends on December 1st, and we want a couple days just to, you know, get everything working as best we can. Set everything up. Like I say, if anybody's interested in joining, you can join the Patreon from the description of this stream. You can join right now to play the ending of our cryogenic winter wipe. I know they're doing a horde event actually tonight, I think, which might be good for new players. I think they're doing like a wave-based defense event tonight. Some other players, with some of the help of the admins, and so at the end of this month, we'll be bringing this to a close on December 1st. And on December 3rd, the new wipe launches. So if you're only interested in the Stalker stuff, leave it until December 1st, because otherwise you'll be charged twice. What time will the server open? We don't know yet, Narkari. It'll kind of be a case of whether everything is ready or not. Because we'll have... I know 2 days sounds like a lot of time, but it's not. You know, we've got to just do all of the vendors and whatever else, and make sure that everything's running as it should be. There's a lot of setup associated with the Stalker stuff, so we've got to place all of the toxic zones and whatnot. And there's a lot of setup to be done. So yeah. What up, Vitor? How you doing? Give me 1 second. I'll see if I got it pinned in my Discord. I don't know if we do or not, or whether it's... I will. Somewhere else. 1 second. I'm on Epidemic Sound now. That's where the music's playing from, so... Uno momento, por favor. And I will grab you. Link. Yeah, it's £10 a month. Doo 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 doo. Was there no... I'm pretty sure there's a referral program. Epidemic sound referral link. Yeah. Unity page. A community page. Oh, there you go. There's a Cyberlink deal on. There you go. There's a Cyber Week deal on right now. With this link, you will get 30 days free, plus 2 months with 75% off. How about that? Don't say I didn't do nothing for you. Oh, wrong link. Sorry, that was that was... Sorry. Hang on. Give me a second. Sorry. There you go. That's the Epidemic Sound referral link. Don't let anybody tell you I'm not a professional streamer, chat. I do this for a job, honest. I do this full time. I promise I do. Not one of these filthy casuals. I just act like it. It's part of the bit, you know? Professional streamer, man. Yeah, exactly. What job did you used to do? I used to work for the National Health Service in the UK. Up until very recently. I worked as a I worked for a digital inclusion team, and our job was to help people get access to online healthcare that didn't have the tools to do so. They didn't have the money, or you know, they didn't have the knowledge or whatever it was, and we used to help them get access to that sort of thing. Now he streams and annoys me for a living. Yeah, pretty much. But I left that job recently. I think this is literally going to be a month. Yeah. Funnily enough, I left today, a month ago. Literally 1 month ago today. I finished the job. It was the 26th of October that I finished. So, yeah, thanks, Edward. I need to sort my patient access stuff out. The Ruddy app doesn't work properly. Dude, the NHS app was the bane of my existence. That thing is a pain in the arse. Because they make it about as complicated as they can. Which is typical NHS, honestly. But take something that should be easy and make it complicated. That's the NHS way. See, I like this as well because Simon's purposely led this out as like a crop area, as you can see. So players could come back here and plant crops here if they wanted. And I'm kind of hoping that's what they do. We're actually toying with the idea as well. We were talking about it last night. We're toying with the idea of doing a medieval themed wipe one of these times.
Wait, your bigger stickers? Here's of this.
Edward!
Wait! Take him away! Oh, sir. No, I want him fighting rabid wild animals within a week. Yes, sir. Come on, you.
Take them away, mods. Take them away. Thank you for the 5 gifties, man. I appreciate that. Everybody that got the hookup, welcome to the membership. Welcome to the members pond. Hope you enjoy the emotes that Edward has so kindly just gifted you. Enjoy those. Use them well. Yeah, so we're teasing the idea of doing a medieval wipe in the future too. where there'll be like no guns, no firearms. And we'll build, I want to speak to Simon about it, but we're potentially going to do like, what's the way I want to phrase this? We'll have him build settlements, but large parts of them won't be finished, if that makes sense. And we'll leave it open to the players to finish them. So we'll have like a few settlements around the map, and it'll be like, oh, look, there's an area there that's clearly laid out as a field, but there's nothing planted in it. Or like a half-finished building or something like that, you know, like just to give the players something to mess around with. And there's a mod called Makeshift Clothing that allows you to design sort of like have like the Roman style robes and peasant clothing and stuff like that. I think it would be really cool. Yeah, that sort of thing. A future wipe. That in my head comment as well. Look at Rechu answering questions. Amazing. I love you guys. This community is awesome. I don't even need to answer half these questions because you guys do it for me. Oh yeah, we're running safe houses with friends too. Yeah, so you can access each other's safe houses, which is good because in the game you can't do that by default. You have to leave your current one. So we've added safe houses with the friends, which allows you to be part of your friends' safe houses and stuff. What up, Sadis? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Hope you're well. Medieval mod or just living in rural Canada? Sounds the same. Maybe I'll give multiplayer a shot. I've only been playing PZ for a day now. First character lasted 45 minutes. Second lasted 2 hours. It seems like a lot more fun though. So what I'll say, Gleeman, is that basically single player is difficult, but it's the way that you learn the game in a lot of instances, right? It teaches you the core mechanics because nobody's there to hold your hand. A lot of the existing player base basically only had single player before multiplayer came out. Because it's less than a year since multiplayer came to but the good thing about multiplayer is that other players can help you. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, alright? Because you're going to have other people looting, so things might be harder on a multiplayer server than how you would have it set in your settings on single player. But you've got other people to walk you through it, right? You've got other people to give you a hand, and that's where the joys of whitelisted communities like ourselves come into play. Because on a whitelisted community like ours, you know, a lot of the players that play on our server are incredibly welcoming to new players, and they will help them and try and like teach them the game and give them a helping hand to start out. Doing good, man. Hope you're having a great time. Is this a mod for Zomboid? So this is a collection of mods that we commissioned ourselves and had built for our server, which are now public. Hey, thank you, Justin. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much for the donation, and I appreciate the kind words. What does whitelisted mean? No, that's fine. Absolutely fine. So, whitelisted, essentially, do you know what a blacklist is, right? A blacklist is when somebody gets banned from something. They're put on a list, and those people are banned from accessing something. Whitelisted is the opposite. Whitelisted is you are given access to something. So, for in this context...
Nice.
Very nice. In this context, what that means is people that support me on Patreon get whitelisted for our Project Zomboid server as a benefit for supporting me. So they can access the servers that we host. Mostly that's our Project Zomboid servers, but we did have one go up for V Rising when that came out, and a lot of people played that when V Rising came around. Yeah. Yeah, the mod pack is in the description, Sadus, if you're interested in taking a look, but it's been so much work, but yeah, it usually keeps the trolls, the griefers, the hackers away because they have to, like, you know, they have to pay something, right? They have to actually spend money. And that's usually enough of a deterrent to keep them all away. Sorry that I haven't been playing as well, chat. I know this was really just like sort of to show off the features today. Let you guys get a look at everything. Less than actually, like, you know, go around and play it. But I think what we'll do, I do want to just quickly, I'm trying to do like a couple things at once here, and one of the things I want to do is record some footage for a YouTube video that we're making on this. We're just going to walk in here, and I'm going to interact with one of the traders. Bring that menu up. I'm still working on the pricing. This will probably all be changed by the time that we do the server. But yeah, you can... Obviously, we can buy whatever we want, or... I just love, like, how easy this menu is to use. It's so simple, but it works so well. How did you find an AK? Well, I'm in admin mode right now because we're testing stuff, so... but you can buy them. This guy sells them. See? Buy an AK. So we have like fully functioning money and everything. Have like your player wallet that shows you how much you've got in your wallet at any given time. We can drop money into that if we want to as well, so for the purposes of testing, I can spawn myself some stacks of money. Right, so we've got 5 stacks of money here. We can drag them onto each other to stack them up. And when I'm ready, I can just drag that across to my wallet. My balance will change. The player wallet, so that's customizable. You can decide, like the server owners and stuff can define how much money is lost on death, if any. On our setup, you lose half of your wallet on death. So you lose 50%. Hey, I appreciate it, Ratchy. Thank you. Yeah, it sounds bad, but like... Okay, I think of the best way to phrase this. I much more prefer engaging with you guys and talking with chat than I do actually playing the game. My enjoyment from streaming comes from engaging with you guys, right? Otherwise, I would just play the game. That's what I'm here for. And I understand you guys are here to watch me play the game, but in this instance, we're just testing some stuff, so... You store the money in your base. Again, that's completely defined by the server owners. We have disabled taking money out of your wallet. The reason behind that is we found that there were some duplication bugs last time, which allowed people to make millions of like so much money. So what we did was we disabled taking money out of your wallet. You can still trade with other players. You can actually like trade with other players and send that money across. So you can still move it between people, but you can't place it in the world, which is where those duplications were coming from. But you can change that in your own settings. What's the hearing range for Zeds? I think it's standard. It's just the standard setup. Assetto Corsa, huh? You know, Jim's pretty big into racing stuff. You know, Jim Bob? He's pretty big into his racing. As is Smashly, one of our friends, ABH. No worries, Justin. Have a good one, mate. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you again for the donation. Super appreciate that. We haven't seen a storm, which I wouldn't say I'm sad about, but I would have liked to have seen a storm just so we can confirm they're working. Let's turn them off last time. Couldn't you make a storage character where you could drop all your money? No, because you can only trade to characters that are online and are right next to you. You have to be able to see the person and interact with them to trade with them. But to actually like right click on the player and trade money across. I know you're against cure mods. What is the server's stance on zombie infection? So right now, Marky, we have that set to bite only. Because it removes that annoying... Like, in a single-player environment, I don't mind having the random chance of infection for lacerations and scratches. But in a multiplayer setting where you work very hard to grind those skills, I think a lot of people would be very pissed off if they lost it to a scratch. So we have it set to bite only. Just to remove the random element. Make a storage character where you can drop all your money. I mean, I suppose you could make somebody your bank, Jackson, yeah? But if that person dies, then you lose more money, right? That's the risk you're taking. So that's not necessarily like a problem. And you only get with your, you know, like, because this is a whitelisted server, you would only get one character. You can't make several. It's you have one character. Access the global mod data in your admin tools. No, data should be. Yeah, so I definitely talk to Jim because he has the SCP access and stuff. Unless there's something in here that I can have a look at. Thank you for all the subs, by the way, guys, and thank you for liking the stream. You know, if you've been hanging out today and have liked or subscribed, thank you very much. Very much appreciate that. I am going to be doing a video. I've already written and recorded the script for a bit of a breakdown of all of the Stalker mods. So I'm going to be making that. I hope to release that sort of maybe tomorrow. I was going to do it today, but I'm not going to push myself, I don't think. So I'm hoping to release that tomorrow. Which will go through all the mods in a bit more detail if you've missed stuff today. How it all works. Who made them, you know, all that sort of thing. So yeah, if you're interested in that, subscribe to the channel, because there's more stuff coming on this setup. It can be seen using debug. Ah, okay, right. I don't have debug on right now. So but because I turned it off to play with cheese, I've just got the admin controls on. Is it character name or Steam name that shows publicly on the server? You choose your name when you do the whitelist, Marquee, and it's done by like your account name. Like when you know when you join the server and you have to put in like your server username, it's that shows. Not the character name, but your username that you choose. What's your stance on skill recovery journals? We've talked about it before. I wouldn't be opposed to maybe putting it in place in future. I'm very, very split on whether it would make things too easy. Because I feel like there needs to be a downside to death in Project Zomboid. There needs to be a punishment for death. And my reluctance is that right now on our server, people can spawn at their safe houses, right? We've designed that so people can spawn at their safe house once they have one. So I think also giving them all their skills back would be, I think, too far towards being too easy for us. But like maybe, I don't know, maybe we'd have to adjust it so that like maybe they spawned not at their safe house, like you can't spawn there if we were to do that. Or maybe like they can gain like half of their skills back if that's functionality. Like if that's a function it has. There needs to be some sort of downside, you know? Yeah, so if there's a percentage available, then yeah, I would say like, you know, you could maybe do like 25% or 50%. You can have the book consume the skills when written. Oh. Can you, in theory, trade that to other players? Like, you know, once you've, like, okay, well, look, I've done, like, 5 levels of farming. Can you give it to another player and say, here, look, here's 5 levels? Or does it only work for you? Personal? Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, we might look into that. There goes my plan to sell carpentry skill. I feel like the one that people would sell all the time would be electrical. Because that one's just a grind. That one's just dismantle stuff. I feel like that would be the one that people would want to buy. It's a means to an end. You do it to hotwire cars, let's be real. Like, barely anybody uses it for anything else. You know, I feel like that would be me. I'd just grind 2 levels in electrical and then sell the book. Yeah, now you can hotwire a car. Go. So many radios must suffer for that skill. Yeah. W mechanics, yeah, mechanics would be another big one for sure. I feel like mechanics is actually really easy to level though. Like a lot of people just don't realize how. Like, is our vehicle still here? Where did we leave the vehicle, chat? Oh, it'll be outside the mall, won't it? Yeah, hang on. It'll be over there. Selling nimble equals stonks. Like a lot of people don't realize like how easy mechanics is to level, right? So I've done a couple of like YouTube shorts around this, but so what I like to do when I'm leveling the first couple levels is I will go around and remove the lights from like loads of cars and stuff and then put them back on because that gives you like easy XP. But if you're in a single player environment or there's a car that's in like really bad condition, what you can actually do is just fail to repair the vehicle over and over again. So if I try and uninstall this, if I had basic mechanics, right, and I tried to uninstall all these parts, every time that I failed, I would still gain XP. And I don't think people realize that. A lot of people don't know that's a thing. Every time you fail or break it or whatever, you still gain XP. So your best way to level mechanics is literally just take a vehicle that's in really bad condition and sacrifice it, you know? Watch a stance on training mods, like where you can click one button and it will auto farm XP on mechanics or tailoring. Yeah, I think for me that's too easy. I get it. I do. I get why people like it because, you know, it's a time sink. But again, like, I do feel like that's a key part of the game. Learning those skills and leveling stuff really is the only sort of, like, progression that we have in the game right now. Right? There's no other real form of progression other than the items you acquire. So, for me, I think that's too far. For me, at least. I get why people want to avoid it though, because it is a lot of time that you have to spend leveling skills. Saves the sanity by clicking. Yeah, I can see that. Again though, like me personally, I prefer to be actively involved. That's just my preference, because like for me, I can be like, okay, well, what do I want to do here? I'm going to uninstall this, and then I'll put it back and whatever. But again, that's just my preference. Like, I prefer the new foraging skill to the old one, but I know that's not the same for everybody, right? Some people liked that they could just forage and then leave it and just sit and relax and watch. I prefer the new foraging skill because it's more engaged. I feel like that's just different for everybody, right? It's one of those things that is personal preference. I think the biggest skill that needs an overhaul right now, in my opinion, and again, I haven't shied away from this. I have talked with, who did I talk with? I think it was Nasco that I had this conversation with. The biggest skill that I think needs an overhaul right now is first aid. I barely see anybody learn but first aid, because one, it's stupid. Like to level first aid is stupid. And this is coming from somebody that loves Project Zomboid. I have massive respect for the devs, and I don't want this to be taken as like an attack or anything like that, because it's not. They're great guys, but having to step in glass over and over to level your first aid is so dumb. like. I know realism isn't everything, but if you were in that situation, you were like, man, right, okay, I need to teach myself how to fix up my own wounds so that I can survive for longer. Your first reaction isn't going to be, let's go stand in some glass, you know? Like, that's not how it works. So I genuinely think that there can be changes to the way first aid works, personally. I've talked about this a lot, and we've talked about it on stream. I think, yeah, being able to practice certain things, like learn certain things from zombie corpses, would be a good way to do it, you know? You'd be able to learn certain parts of the human body by doing that. I think the other thing that I would really like to see is minor ailments. So what we've talked about in the past is adding things like minor ailments that have specific triggers. So if you go fishing at morning, I think it's dusk or dawn, fishing is better in like a certain time period. I forget the hours off the top of my head, right? Fishing is better at a certain time frame. Conveniently, that's when mosquitoes are most active. So you could have a chance of getting a mosquito bite whilst fishing during those times. And all you'd need to do to soothe it would be to like apply some kind of like ointment or cream or herbal remedy, right? And that would just give you like some medical XP doing that. It's not something that randomly pops up or comes out of nowhere. It has a direct trigger that you can avoid doing if you want to. But by solving that problem, you have learned some first aid doing it. So, like, colds would be an example of stuff that, like, well, there are colds in the game, right? Getting a cold is a thing. So that wouldn't really have to change. Allergic reactions, probably not, because that would be, like, I guess that would be more random. It wouldn't have a specific trigger. One thing we've talked about as well is, like, sunburn. Right? If you're out in the height of summer and it's really sunny or really hot, you know, you might get sunburn, and all you need to do is apply, like, again, you know, ointments or after sun or whatever. I don't know if there is actually already. Ainsley, I love that. Shoot yourself to learn medicine. Not only do you get better at healing the wound, you also build a tolerance to bullets. My only weakness, bullets. Home VHS for first aid, there you go. I love the look of the new farming overhaul. I think that's gonna be great. I was actually thinking about whether I should do a Thursdoid video update for the farming changes, but I don't think there's enough in that Thursdoid for me to make a video about it. And I think that's going to be the problem all the way from now until build 42 gets a bit closer. I'm not going to have much to talk about in my like update videos. I don't know. Ufji. I don't know. Exactly. Small things that make leveling medical easy. Specific triggers that you can avoid if you want to. Yes. That would be what I want out of the medical skill. Because the benefits you get from medical are already pretty good. Like you get quicker at healing wounds. You heal wounds more accurately, like they're better quality, and you recover from wounds faster, which is good, right? Like that's a really good thing to have for first aid. But there's no like leveling it at the minute is just dumb. Stepping in glass over and over. Like what? There are a lot of things they could do, I think. But it's just probably not a priority right now. What's an auto reload? Make those IRL and it just takes a mag and does it. Oh, you know, I know what you mean. Like a magazine packer, yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't like to see it in the default game, I don't think. Because again, it's one of those things that I think like if you add all these things, you're just making the game. And that's not what Project Zomboid's about. But I wouldn't mind seeing it in a mod. Exactly, that's it. Because most people learn to avoid those things that require you to take damage. Right? Like, the only times you take damage other than from a zombie is if you make a mistake. And most players eventually learn how to avoid the things that cause those mistakes to happen. Like jumping through a window, you know? Hey, John, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. We are, Nice. We are just wrapping up, really. I'm just having a bit of a wind-down chat with everybody before we finish up. I haven't seen that, Furkan. I haven't seen it. The highest I've ever bothered to level first aid was level 3 because I spawned in as a burn victim. And the week it took to recover really built me up. Yeah, I remember running that. Burn victim was a really interesting trait. It was a good challenge, if nothing else. You spawn in with just so many wounds, so many burns. Scrap weapons and armor mods. We run them on our server. Scrap weapons and armor. I don't think we run it. We don't run it for the Stalker wipe. I don't think. But we run it for all of our other wipes. The scrap weapons and armor. It gives more of a use to metalworking. Metalworking isn't as good without it. I think for the medieval wipe, Marquis, I'm not sure whether I might like request we have our own made. We'll see. Because I feel like there would be a lot more like armors we could make. For a non-gun world, you know? Like there's a lot of different things you could get. Like you could get like riot armor, right? Like I'm thinking like the stuff does anybody remember like from that scene in The Walking Dead, the guys from the Kingdom that had like that sort of rioty looking armor that was like kind of like I don't know how to describe it. Like, was it Kevlar or like plastic? I don't know. It looks kind of like paintball gear, to be honest. If we do a medieval wipe, we'll probably include bows or crossbows. Yeah. As long as they're not too, like, OP, I'd need to make sure that they weren't too overpowered. We even have a player who's sort of famous for scrap armor now. Yeah, Jenkins, yeah. No, I'm talking about much later, Firkin, like the guys from the Kingdom. They turn up on horses and they're wearing like armor and stuff. Cricket armor? I don't think so. Hang on, let me get the... I have to get the image. Was it the Kingdom or the Commonwealth? I don't know. Hang on, I got a picture here. This stuff. So, what they're wearing in this image here. This stuff. I don't know how you would describe that other than like maybe like paintball armor or something like that. You know, I feel like being able to make stuff like that for a medieval style wipe with no guns would be cool. Maybe. Paintball. Yeah, it's like kind of sports gear, isn't it? Motor X. Yeah, biking. Yeah, like dirt bike gear. Yeah, that's it. Cross pants. Dirt bike stuff, I guess, yeah. But yeah, I think that would be cool for that style of wipe. That looks useless. I mean, I don't know how effective it would be. And obviously you could tailor the armor values, right? That's the good thing about Zomboid. I don't know how effective it would be with actually stopping zombies. Might be better against blunt weapons. Who knows? Might take some of the impact from a blunt hit. Wear a bunch of cast iron pans. There was a Battle Royale game, Cuisine Royale, that did that. It was hilarious. Alright. Okay. Sorry, I realize I'm not actually playing the game and I've just been talking for like the last 20 minutes, so I'm probably already going to get a bunch of YouTube comments on this VOD that says, he didn't play the game for like 40 minutes at the end. Because I get those from the starting soon bit anyway, so I'm going to wrap up there. But yeah, I will say one last time, thank you to everybody that has liked the stream today. Thank you for everybody that subscribed. Clearly padding stats, yeah. And if you are interested in giving the Stalker setup a go, it will be on our Patreon server on December the 3rd. If you'd like to come and join us, there is a link to the Patreon in the description. You can also come and join us on our Discord. But yeah, thank you very much for hanging out today, guys. I appreciate it. It was good to show off some of these things again, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. And I enjoyed our little chat at the end. It was good. It was good. I think I'm going to get something to eat. Duck, you've been quacking for the last 40 minutes. Don't. That's a PTSD. But I'll see you guys soon, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend, folks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.